sweating.
Tommy Miller, how are we doing?
All right, lads, how are you doing?
All right, Tom.
Good, thank you for coming on.
No, it's a pleasure. I'm pleased I got on. You must be running out of people, are you?
I've been asking for months. Every time I see him, any chance I can come on that fucking show of yours or what? Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?
Just to see Brownie. I haven't seen him for a while, so I just wanted a bit crap with Brownie. Yeah.
I'm fatigued, by the way. Second one
Of the day.
And a large one
Easy.
in between.
So I apologise for me performance.
You were back to when we first started, weren't you? You know when you didn't really contribute.
Because I've been back to Blackburn.
And you were just
Every Saturday tea time. Sorry lads, fuck me.
I should have done better, man.
You started. How come you started youth in Ipswich? Like, where did that come about?
I think at the time there was quite a lot of lads going down from the northeast. Scout obviously coming to watch us from his Sunday team. Went to a few clubs on trial. Got a feel for Ipswich and ended up signing there as a schoolboy. So I used to get the train down on a Saturday, play a game on a Sunday, and then come home and ready for school on the Monday.
Fucking hell, that's some weekend, isn't it?
It was a good trek on the train, like. I'm talking 4.5 hours, change at Peterborough.
How old were you at this point?
14-year-old. So there was a few of us gone down. I think there was 3 of us. So
I didn't even know you were at Ipswich.
Yeah.
You started at Palo.
No, Ipswich.
Lack of research.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to be honest with you, neither did I. I don't think
There's a surprise. There's a surprise.
Research not my thing, you know. Anyway, thanks for coming on, Tim.
We're in Tommy's local.
Yeah.
It's all right, isn't it? You had some scran, have you? Bit of food,
yeah.
good.
We're all lovely gesture as well. The barmaid said, Tommy, I'll pick it up.
It's got to be free, hasn't it? Surely, coming all the way up here, you must have getting looked after.
What did you go for? Steak pie?
Steak pie.
Starter?
Chips.
Is that your starter?
No, I had
Duck wrap to start.
little duck, what they call?
Spring rolls.
Duck spring rolls for starting.
Can I just say that was on the appetisers, not the starters.
Was it?
On the what?
The appetisers.
They're the same thing, aren't they? Appetizers and
No,
starters.
they're slightly bigger, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they?
They had the starters.
I thought, to be fair, there only 2 came. I thought she'd fucking drop one away. I thought she'd drop one away back from kitchen, or she'd had one herself.
Spring rolls, pie, chips and veg.
Is that a dessert or not? Or was that a couple of pints?
He finished it with, we'll get some onion rings for the table, he says.
Right, how many did you have of them?
All of them.
Right. You had one.
Lovely crew, though.
Yeah, it's decent. Good boozer, this. Gets a few lads in on a weekend. It's very good.
Should we talk about footy?
Yeah, we should do, shouldn't we?
Well, so why we're talking about what I've had for my tea.
It's always a good start, isn't it?
Yeah. So you used to travel down Saturday on the train?
Yeah.
Stay in a hotel or you stay in
digs? Yeah, stay in digs with the family, obviously. Play the game on a Sunday, under 15 game or under 16 game, whatever it was at the time, and then get the train back after the game. Go to school on a Monday.
That must have been a fucking slap every weekend, weren't it?
It was. It was a bit of a grind.
When I was younger, we used to go down the Friday,
Right.
train Saturday, play Sunday and get back at 8 o'clock Sunday night. I hated it.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. I used to do it, manual when I was younger.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
I was crap. If I stayed there, I'd have been released. I was terrible. I just hated it. It's a big thing at that age, though.
Aye.
Yeah.
Travelling down on your own. Well, I know you had mates with you,
Yeah.
but away from your family and that.
Big thing. And then just before 16, got released. Too small, one of the reasons, which, listen, I was 5'2" when I left school. I was tiny. But that's an old excuse, you're too small, you know what I mean?
Easy go to one.
It is, yeah, exactly. Got released and then went to Hartlepool and did me sort of YS there and 3 years professional and then ended up back at Ipswich, which was mental.
Was that nice to go back?
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was a couple of clubs sort of agreed a fee with Hartlepool, but Ipswich that season had finished 4th in the Premier League. They'd qualified for Europe. Listen, I was going from Division 3 Hartlepool into the Premier League. I knew it was a massive step and I probably wouldn't play much, certainly at first.
You couldn't believe it when you got that call.
Mental.
Playing out, because how long were you at Hartlepool? Like 4 or 5 years?
To be 2-year YES and then I was sort of 3-year professional. Yeah. So I did quite well, scored a few goals, got noticed and then they came in and...
the Premier League?
Yeah, big step, massive jump.
Was it the same manager when you got released to win the side you're in?
No.
I can imagine that would have been a youth team manager that released you anyway.
Yeah, it was more to do with the youth.
And the actual manager.
Yeah, it was. But the same fellow who sort of released us under 16, he was there. He was kit man now. So I've walked in.
He's gone and you've gone up.
Tell you what.
I bet you used to batter him, yeah.
So
dickhead, get me my fucking slogging. You released me at fucking 16, get me my slogging, dickhead.
I've walked in one of the first days and I've clocked him straight away, and he's sort of come over and he's gone, "Hey, you'd be a good player." I was like, "Oh yeah, cheers, Ken." And then I'd pulled up in I think I got a BMW, I think, 3 Series, and he used to go, "Hey, I got you that car." And it was like a laughing joke, so every time I got something or whatever, it was sort of more or less down to him, like, he was on it. But no, he was a good fella.
But alright.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
So who's there then? Burley brings you in?
George Burley, yeah.
And who's in that dressing room?
Oh, some good big characters like Tony Mowbray was sort of just finishing. Jim McGilton, lively, great fella, great crack, great for the dressing room. Mark Stewart. Roycer, yeah, a couple of Dutch lads, Roycer, Fabian Wilness, Herman Horiderson, who you just didn't want to be near on a night out. Oh,
he was in Dublin, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really pulled my fucking tit off.
It doesn't surprise me.
You probably were getting a lap dance.
Honestly, mate, I got that fucking naughty sailor outfit on. Right?
I remember.
And I can remember, he just came up behind us and he just fucking grabbed me pet. It's a tip. It's a tip now. At the time, or a pet, and he grabbed it, mate. I thought he'd ripped the fucking thing off.
Yeah.
Said, what the fuck are you doing? And I realised
Irish dancing or something round
he was doing something ridiculous. So I think we planned to pick somebody up at one point.
Yeah,
it's
like he did.
Fucking
bench pressing.
Machine.
Just
a machine. I mean, you'd be on a night out and all of a sudden he'd just whack you in the ribs, full force, and you're like, "All right, Herman, what's that for?" And but he thought he was play fighting, and he's just bang. You're like, "All right, mate, yeah, just get him away from me."
Yeah.
But, so yeah, he was a big character. Matty Holland was in there. No, was sensible lad, you know,
busy,
very sensible, busy. Yeah, good captain. Mark Venus, who was a Blackburn assistant manager now with Mogger. So yeah, it was a good dressing room. Good set of lads.
Some young lads, like Marcus Bent there and...
Marcus Bent came, yes, just after us. Darren Bent was breaking through. Darren Ambrose, Titus Bramble.
Titanium.
So yeah, there was some... Obviously they always had a good youth team, you know, a good youth setup, so there was lads coming through all the time. And then obviously they were selling them on for...
Keith Brannigan there?
Keith Brannigan was there. He was just finishing.
Yeah. Not long ago, and there were an AC/DC tribute band on. Keith Brannigan on rhythm guitar.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah.
On which guitar?
Rhythm guitar.
You're full of useless information, aren't you?
What's the rhythm guitar?
So, well, lead guitar, you're doing all the solos. Rhythm, you're kind of carrying everything through.
Did you used to play for Bolton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you know that.
And he got up guitar, or?
He was alright, yeah. Not too bad.
Did he keep the rhythm?
Yeah, he was keeping the rhythm, yeah.
So you wouldn't have played much then?
Didn't play much. I maybe...
What a twat!
I didn't.
There are all these players here, Tommy. You obviously didn't play much, did you?
Well, that year I did get an FA Premier League reserve medal, John. So, which is nothing to shout home about. Like,
that was good back then.
I remember playing against Arsenal.
Reds used to be proper football back then.
I remember playing against Arsenal, and I think the midfield was Colo Touré, Van Bronckhorst, Robert Perez, and Freddie Lumberg. That was the reserve team at the time. Now, I think they were coming back from injury. But
proper football it used to be, didn't it?
Yeah, so I played, I think, 13, 14 games for them, and then back end of the season, Premier League, we were struggling. I think he sort of, I'll throw you in, see what you've got. Did all right, but we went down. You know, it was disappointing. I made my debut in Europe actually. Spartak Moscow away, came on a sub.
Because did you get into Europe even though you've been? Was it like the
third
play?
I'm not 100% sure. They finished third or fourth in the Premier League. So I don't know whether they qualify for that because the team...
I'm sure it was a year after, and it was the fair play award.
Well,
even though Ipswich got relegated,
Yeah,
in Europe.
yeah,
for
you're
the
right.
first word.
You're actually right.
It
Yeah,
is.
my
Research.
memory's terrible. You're right.
No, I think
You're
that's
right. You are right. Yeah,
The
you're right.
notorious Miller finger point. middle
Didn't
finger.
take long. Didn't take long.
We
It's
had
coming out.
Mel's tweeted something this morning.
Did he?
It's like he put a question out there. We've got Tommy on.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? And Mel's just put, why does he point with his middle finger?
6 minutes in. You're right. You're right.
It's coming out. That I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you.
You've been relegated from Premier League, but then you were in Europe because
When we were in the Championship.
not giving many fouls away.
Something like that. Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing, that?
And they played Inter Milan that year.
I think I remember it.
Inter Milan. Alan, I was subbing the San Siro and didn't get on. Played them in the first game and they rested the big hitters, so the big hitters didn't come over. We beat them 1-0. Alan Armstrong scored a header, back post, great header. So everyone,
In the big hits as against Inter Milan.
unbelievable. So everyone's thinking you're going to go to the San Siro. We've got a chance here, and we're thinking, well, not so sure. And yeah, I think we got beat 4-1. Alan Armstrong scored a penalty, but they had too much for us. They brought the big hitters out, and
Yeah.
no good.
How did you find Burley? You brought
Yeah, George was all right. Yeah, he's all right. Loved the night out.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved the night out. But no, he was good. You know, he was a decent manager. His assistant manager was very good, Dale, who passed away not long after actually through cancer. But no, George was all right. Yeah, gone quite well with him.
And then did Joe Royal come in after?
Tony Mowbray had a little spell caretaker, and then Joe Royal came in, and he sort of. He gave me a bit of freedom. I love playing for Joe. There was Joe and Willie Donaghy. Willie Donaghy, very serious, fantastic coach. Joe just laid back, you know. Willie would take the training and all of a sudden Joe would come over on the golf cart, you know, just driving around, having a little look, see what's going on and then go and scoot off somewhere else. It was an amazing sort of link up between the two, yeah, but it worked, do you know what I mean? It did work. Yeah.
I do think you need that.
Did you see? Well,
Like different. You can't have two managers the same. You need somebody who gets the on the
a
lads' side.
manager and assistant manager, you need a little bit
yeah.
chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
I think so, and it worked really well. But just going back before that, Finidi George,
I was going to ask about Finny.
where?
I always used to get him on Chapman.
He was a little free, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Best free transfer.
Finidi George, Nigerian.
yeah.
Well, he come to us and he was supposed to be 32.
Oh, one of the old Nigerian.
Well, that's what they reckon, and I mean,
in a crayon.
oh,
His birth certificate.
it was unbelievable. And we had, like I said, Ivan Campo as well, he came.
Yeah.
I mean, what an absolute legend. But Finidi, going back to Finidi, so he was supposed to be 32, so he'd train and you're thinking, yeah, he's got quality, you know, on the ball and that, but he just blew up. And then when he come to the game, for the first 10 minutes, he was unplayable. You couldn't get near him, couldn't touch him. He's running past players, he's putting crosses in the box, he's scoring goals 25 yards. After 10 minutes, he's like that. Hands on his hips, haggard.
If you could put a number on it, how old do you reckon he was?
Oh, he's got to be near 40. Surely. But he ended up going to
I'm
court.
23, by the way. I'm 23 year old, mate.
He ended up going to
7
Colchester
minutes.
University. The fitness coach was baffled. He was like, oh, is he tired and all this fatigue and all this stuff? He ended up going to Colchester for all these tests, doing all this running tests, all this stuff on his heart and all this stuff. And I think they found out that he was obviously older than what he should.
Wrong side of 40.
Nearer 40 or...
What did they do with him? Just
Well, to be fair, he didn't play much, so after that, he didn't last long.
What, did it last long at the club or just in general?
He lasted a year, but... No.
there was a young at Newcastle. Remember Calvin Zola?
Calvin Zola, yeah.
He was meant to be my age group.
Big striker?
Yeah.
Crew? He ended up with a
Yeah,
crew?
yeah, he did,
But
yeah.
He played in my, like, obviously
Giant,
Newcastle.
massive,
He was
strong, like, yeah.
He ended up having to get released because they found out he was older than what
did
he
say?
said he was. Yeah, but he was an absolute tank.
Yeah, big lad.
See, I've always had the other one, mate. People are like, how old are you? 36. What?
Can't believe that.
Rolex.
Check that fucking Barnsley birth certificate.
The two missed out on playoffs twice.
Yeah, 2 years on the bounce.
West Ham both times.
West Ham both times. The second year we were cruising up until about January, top of the league all season, going really well. Sunderland were just behind us. Mick McCarthy's team, Sunderland. we had a little break in January. We played QPR on the Saturday and we were going to Tenerife, flying out after.
Work trip.
Team bonding, you know, team bonding, how it is. Loads of
that.
training and that over there, you know.
So you had a 4-day piss up, or a 3-day piss up.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
We're 2-0 down against QPR at half time. Joe's come in, raging. Trip's off, lads. Trip is off. We don't get a result here. Tell you now, you can shove Tenerife. The sun don't shine. Simple. Second half, we win 4-2. Well, you can imagine what was happening. Lads on the bench, you got the caps on, sunglasses, about 85 minutes. They are like that. Well done, lads. But so we had a night out in Luton that night, and then we flew out from Luton on the Sunday morning, lands in Tenerife. Joe's gone, right, lads, all I'm going to say to you is, it's Sunday dinner time, so I don't want to see yous till Tuesday afternoon. Do what you want, get yourself out, have a really good time. If anyone's back in before 3-4 in the morning, something the matter with you. Well, we had the best time, I can tell you. It was ridiculous. I remember coming in one morning with a few of the lads, it must have been about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. He's Willie Donaghy coming out of his hotel room. I'm walking past him, obviously steaming. Me and a couple of lads have gone, all right, Willie, what am I doing? And Willie's sort of shaking his head like that. I think he had his yoga mat or something like that. And he's getting up to do a workout, do some stuff, and we're just getting in. And it's like, what a trip. What a trip.
Who's the main instigator?
Magilton.
Yeah.
Magilton was up there.
Was he captain?
He was the captain. He was leading the troops. Kevin Horlock.
Yeah.
Great lad. Funny, really funny. But we're in some bar. I can't remember the name of it. And it's just a free-for-all. We're behind the bar, we're helping ourselves. The manager's going, dude, God, no, these are fine. I'm on the microphone, I'm going, there's holiday makers all over. I'm going, who's top of the league? Anyone tell us who's top of the league? And they must be looking at me thinking, who is this here? What is happening? But no, good times. And then we come back and we blew the league.
Was it worth it? 3 days worth it?
No, well, not straight away, but eventually we missed Big Coochie. Actually, he got injured and missed a couple of games. Yeah,
He's another one that's got to be older than what you think.
Well, possibly, but what a handful on his game.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
Just, I mean, touching everything wasn't great. Oh,
did he?
Yeah, did he?
Moves. Dance moves.
No, I've never seen him.
He had the big dive, didn't he? That
looked painful, didn't it? His celebration. Blackburn.
One of the best put downs I've ever heard in football. Probably not as good as Sir Alf Ramsey's with thingy, but Craig Bellamy were having a bit of a ding dong with Jay Bullfroyd. And
you've said about this, yeah.
And Bella's put down was, Jay, at Blackburn you got replaced by Chef Kikuchi. That sums your career up. And Chef Kikuchi were decent, weren't he? He were decent. You got replaced at Blackburn by Chef Kikuchi. You always remember that. That's what he said to him in dressing room.
I like the way that Tommy even knows that you've told this story before.
Has it been on?
Have you heard it on here?
No, I've heard it personally. I think when we've been on a night out or something like that, yeah.
Has it been on? Have you put it in?
Nah, I've never heard that.
He ended up at Newcastle.
So fuck you.
Newcastle.
Yeah, he ended up at Newcastle, Sheffield. Yeah, he went there for half a season or something, yeah, or 6-month deal or whatever. Yeah.
David Unsworth.
Unsey was at Ipswich, yeah.
Another big unit.
Yeah.
Rhino.
Rhino, yeah.
You were a fucking bit. I mean, I was played away at Sheffield United against David Unsworth and Chris Morgan centre half. Jesus Christ.
Battered and bruised.
I'd rather fucking Phil and Grant Mitchell play centre half. I got kicked to foot. Absolutely kicked her foot.
Yeah. Big
That's Darren Bentley been coming through that season,
Yeah.
then, wasn't he? Because I think he played. Cause we played just at Ipswich when we were. I don't know. You were top or we were second or whatever. And I think did we go 2-0 up?
Possibly.
2-2 when Brian Dean. I think Brian Dean and Sleevesy scored.
Right.
Make it 2-2.
Yeah.
But Darren Bent, that's when I think that was his first.
Yeah, he was coming through when I was there.
First season.
This is a question for the older end, this, but do you know when you had your Ipswich kit, did you used to tie your little bit of rope there?
I think I played in that strip.
Did you not?
No, that was before me.
The little knot.
I remember it, yeah, with a little white
thing there.
Yeah.
Some players tied it, some just left it
dangling, yeah.
I thought that would have been.
No,
Right about that.
not that old, John. Come on.
And I was going to say.
Yeah, no word
That was
about
Ian
it.
Marshall in there. Remember Ian Marshall? No.
Perm.
Yeah.
I thought you were before him. I once had an Ipswich kit, actually. Like, I don't no idea why.
Why?
Sports Direct seconds.
No, one of them. Like, my dad took me to a factory thing. Says, right, you've got, I don't know, 20 quid to spend for Christmas.
Just getting a few.
And I got a Ipswich kit, and I got some fucking German team because it were 2 for 20 quid.
Yeah.
So I got both, but Ipswich was all English team kit there. So I was an Ipswich fan for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks after Christmas. Back in the day.
Obviously Marcus Bent with us, he had a few problems later on. Could you see that? He had problems with alcohol and drugs.
Did he?
Yeah, bad.
Marcus Ben.
Yeah.
Marcus, he had a few clubs as well. He got a few moves. In Blackburn, one of them, wasn't it? No, I think he lived life to the full. Do you know what I mean? He liked the party scene. He liked the nights out. He liked the women. But no, I didn't see the. I think a lot of players are different, aren't they? I mean, when you finish playing football, you hear a lot about depression and stuff like that, don't you? It's quite rife in the game, but I didn't see him sort of going that way. No, certainly not. No.
So you went alcoholic, using drugs and everything, did he?
Yeah.
I think that's normally the ones that
inside.
the ones that you never think would.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
You got to switch it off when you've finished.
Yeah.
Chasing the dragon.
So when you blew the league, did you end up in the playoffs then?
yeah, I got beat off West Ham for the second year on the bounce.
Right.
And then Sunderland
In the
won
semi
league,
or the
didn't they?
final?
Semi.
Semis.
Two years on the bounce, West Ham. I think West Ham got in the last day as well. I can't remember who they beat in the final, actually. They beat Preston the year before, won it, I think, and then they just sneaked in on the last day.
Because you only missed out on second on goal difference as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were cruising, like I said earlier on, going really well, and then Sheffield was on fire. He was scoring week in, week out, and then we had 2 home games, Tuesday, Saturday. Watford QPR, and he missed the game through injury, and it was a big miss at the time. Big miss. I think we drew the game and lost the second one, and then when he come back we sort of had a go game, but we playoffs, bit of a nightmare.
Did you reject your contract then at the end of that year?
I didn't. Joe was pretty honest with us. He just said, listen, I don't know what's going to happen with myself. He said, I can't offer you a new deal yet. I don't know what league we're going to be in. If you can get yourself sorted, look after number one, more or less. He was as open and honest as that.
Was that him being good as gold, you think? Or do you think that was him saying, well, I'm not that
If
bothered
we
either way.
do go
Do you know what I mean?
Possibly, I don't know.
Or do you think was he a guy who just said, look, you need to sort yourself out here? As a
I don't
top guy,
think managers would do that.
No?
No, if you wanted to keep him, then I don't think he'd then
So
go.
I'll tell you what I'll do then. I'll get Tommy's answer from you. I'll ask you the question.
No, I'm just offering me opinion. That's all, John.
I think if they'd.
So, what do you think happened then? Did Joel not want Tommy, or did he want him?
I think if he'd have put something down, sort of, I signed. I loved it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a. But then there was a few rumours about a few clubs wanting me, and Sunderland was one of them. Obviously, from round here, back home.
Leeds and Celtic as well.
Leeds and Celtic.
Celtic must have been.
Celtic was up there. Although I didn't speak to them, sort of go to speak to them. Celtic's massive, isn't it? Let's be honest. Leeds is massive, and I did speak to Leeds, but Sunderland was too good to turn down. You know, it was my hometown club. And I had to go for it. They're just getting promoted to the Premier League, and I thought let's have a go at it. Let's see what it's all about.
What would you have done if Celtic or Rangers were in for you, or a Championship team, like in the mix to get promotion?
What would I do?
Yeah, both of you.
Whichever one was closest to Barnsley.
He's not even joking either.
Whichever one I could travel to in there and get back home. I'm not bothered about whether that's Celtic or Rangers. What they got for me, I can't get home.
You're playing in front of 30,000,
massive,
40,000
massive
people every week. And
No, not bothered.
I mean,
every now and again you've got to go to
Alloa.
Stramround.
You got to Alloa and Swansea United. Or fucking Queen of the South or something. No, we're not bothered.
I think if there was more or less rumours that, you know, it wasn't sort of concrete. I think if they sort of rang us and said, blah, 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 come and speak to us, and a few agents were in my ear saying, so we can get you to Celtic, they want to, but I think it was a lot of sort of tit for tat thing.
Like
A
you said,
few
it's like
telltales.
Would you like to play for Rangers or Celtic then? As opposed to Preston in the Championship?
Well, I don't know. I've not been in that position that
Well, that's why I'm asking-
That's putting you in the position.
That's why I've asked you the question.
I bet it'd be nice to play in that environment.
Yeah.
You know, that 30,000-40,000 every week at
Oh,
home.
you're playing against shite.
I know, but you can. It's
You're
like
winning every week.
You're winning every week.
It's like being best player in school team, isn't it? You know what I mean? Eventually, I'm sure it gets a bit boring.
Just
winning
every week, rubbing your belly, aren't you?
Have you been to one of the games up Celtic? Have you been?
No.
You have to experience it. It's,
Atmosphere.
I mean, the standard of football.
You'll not convince me, lads. Whichever's nearest to Barnsley, I can get home on a night.
If they're coming for you now, as you are
Celtic.
now, would you go? Bollocks! Bollocks!
Still too far.
Johnny, you moved to Cardiff.
Pardon?
You moved to Cardiff.
I know, yeah, but only because I really had to.
Why?
Because
You don't have to. John, I know what you like. If you don't want to do something, you don't do
I
it.
know it was too good a deal not to. Mate, my thought process, right, when I went to Cardiff was second in the league, right? This is January. Second in the league. So I went down there, I signed the best contract I've ever signed. Apart from Stoke going up, but the best actual contract I've ever signed. So I'm thinking, I'll go down there, I'll sign 2.5 years, right? Get promoted, double bubble, your wages increase, you get your bonus for going up. I'm not going to play in the Premier League at Cardiff. I won't play in Premier League for anybody. So they'll let me out on loan to a Doncaster or a Barnsley or an Huddersfield, somewhere close to home. But I'm obviously on double the wages.
Good thought process, that's John, I tell you. You are thinking ahead.
And I'm sure you would have thought same, and you would have thought same. So that's the reason. I could have signed for Sheffield Wednesday. Or Cardiff.
You not fancy buying a house in Cardiff and setting up there? And
Too far from home. I don't like that foreign food that they that my thought process we're going to Cardiff.
there you go.
So, hometown club
Yeah,
ruled the roost.
I did. I met Mick in Portugal actually. I was on my summer holiday. I got a phone call. Mick's in Portugal at the same time.
By chance.
By coincidence, yeah.
Oh, just down the pool bar.
Oh,
Come down, Tommy.
Do you reckon was he a Speedo man, Mick? Or a swim short? Just
Wouldn't like to
picturing him
see
in a
it.
pair of Speedos.
I'll think about the Speedo.
I think he will be.
I think Irish shorts, on Island shorts or Barnsley shorts, guaranteed. Gang Crocs.
Better Nike sock, white Nike socks on.
It was.
Hold up.
Yeah, I met him in a hotel in Villamora. He's got a place in Alvor, which is a bit further down. So I went and had a little chat with him. Obviously, he didn't have to tell us about the club. I sort of knew more or less what it means. And
Informal chat or just to
formal chat, yeah, get to know him a little bit, yeah, and what his plans were and how he saw it, and obviously they'd just been promoted to the Premier League and what was what. Like I said earlier, didn't have to sell the club because I knew how big the club is.
Yeah.
And it was more or less agreed then in Portugal. Come back, got everything sorted, and that was it.
Straight back to the hotel, get a bottle in.
Get a bottle in. Little celebration.
What do you mean?
It's done. Like he's gone
Back
and
to-
seen
get
it
back
for
to
his
his
holiday.
missus.
Ah,
Back to
right,
his
yeah,
missus.
yeah.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah. Mine
Get
was-
a bottle in.
Make that one a double, please, waiter.
You can get one for yourself. What do you want? I was on that mic again from Tenerife. I had it in my pocket. Who wants a drink? There's Sunderland out in the league. I'm signed. No, it was. So yeah, I came back and signed. But I mean, I'll talk about how it went that season. But first and foremost, I was buying a house on here, obviously where we are today. Not in the pub, but houses round about. And it was just a new build, and it wasn't going to be ready for about 4 months. So there's apartments just up the road there. The only apartments on the estate. So I've arranged for a viewing to go and see one. One was empty. I thought, perfect, this will do us for 4 months until the house is ready, like. So I've drove in through these gates. The gates is open. I've pulled my car around and I've loads of spaces, parked in between 2 spaces. Thinking that'll be all right. I didn't bother reversing and parking straight and stuff like that. So I met the woman. She's showing us around this apartment. I'm thinking, perfect, this, ideal. Get me gear in, get settled, ready for when I get my house, like. All I hear is a big bang on the door. The woman's looked at me and I'm sort of looking at her. I'm thinking, I didn't think there was any riffraff around here, like, what's happening here? Hey, the money I'm paying for this here, rent, what's going on? Just a big bang like that. She goes, I have to go at the door. She's opened the door. He's Mick McCarthy, standing there.
In his crocs.
In his crocs. Island shorts on. Picture of Roy Keane on his t-shirt. No beans Mick. And I was like, what is going on here? Anyway, she's looked, I've looked, and I was sort of down the corridor. And he's went, do you mind moving your fucking car? I went, oh, I'm sorry, Gaffer, I didn't realise I was in your space. Like, he went, well, you are, now move your fucking car. I thought he was going to kill us. Honestly, he was raging. Well, let me tell you now, at the time, he was not joking. Whether he's had a bad day, he hadn't signed someone, or obviously he signed me, so he must have been. He must have been after someone else.
He
must have. I think he's trying to get rid of us already.
You're after Tommy Docherty.
If I have a go at him, he might cancel his contract. I think that's what he's probably thinking now. But so yeah, I'm thinking, Jesus
But
Christ.
there's all these other car park spaces.
All these other spaces he could have parked in, and I've managed to park in between 2, which was his and his missus's. So he was raging. So I'm thinking, great, this, innit? And his door was here. My door was there, so he lived on the same landing, like the same floor. So the next day at training, gets into training, I'm thinking, I need to keep away from him here. Like, Jesus, what's he going to say to us? So he's giving it a bit of banter to the lads and that. He's going, hey, I got Tommy yesterday. I'm thinking, got me? He'd have ripped my head off if he'd have gotten through that door. I tell you, if he was joking, well, you know what I mean?
Letting the agent hold in the back.
Oh.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Just looking around.
So are you married and kids?
Yeah, married and kids, yeah.
So you're not. I imagine if you were.
I wasn't out every night. Yeah.
Gaffer
I wouldn't have got it then. I wouldn't have moved
But
in.
even then, it's still not ideal, is it?
No, it's still not
Imagine
great.
living opposite your gaffer.
It's still not great.
Like, especially if the Chinese keep knocking it wrong.
There's only one pub on here, so obviously he used to come in here quite a lot, and we did as players. There was a few of us on here at the time. Me, Kelvin Davis, the keeper, and Alan Stubbs. He had a spell here as well.
Drink,
Yeah. So Mark, who's got the pub, like good friends with him. So we'd be sat in the bar next door, and Mark would be sort of behind the bar floating about and stuff, or some of the bar staff or whatever. And they used to go, Mick's car's just pulled up outside. So we'd be like, cheers. And we were off out the fire exit. Thanks, off. Square the bill up later. But,
It's Friday, lads.
Friday, yeah. But I'm sure he'd have bought us a pint, you know what I mean? He's a reasonable fella, you know. What you see is what you get with Mick. But we just thought, do it right, you know what I mean? Don't want to be drinking all the time.
Where did you go from here then? You just get back tapped to another boat or something.
At the golf club down the road. Down the road.
So that Sunderland dressing room when you.
Yeah, a lot of new faces. Obviously, the season before they were on a high, got promoted, won the league. He got rid of a few, kept a few of the stronger characters. Gary Breen. It was tough. I'm not going to lie. That year in the Premier League was tough. Mick's hands were tied. He didn't have much money to spend, and it was a struggle for everyone. I think there's probably a couple of players now who came out of that season with a bit of credit. Julio Arca, who was different class when he played, and Liam Lawrence did well. Liam Lawrence,
Dino.
yeah, Lenny. Dino's, yeah, a few, but I think the lads we brought in didn't improve the team, and the Premier League's a different ballgame from the Championship.
Well, the lads who brought in didn't improve it, so you were basically just a Championship team playing in the Prem.
Yeah, I think so. I think what he added, I mean, I did well in the Championship, and he maybe thought, get the Premier League, he might get a few more goals. I think the way I saw it with Mick, I've gone there, and I don't think I was allowed to at Joe Royal, I was given a licence to get forward. That was my game.
do what you
Get
want.
forward, get in the box. I always had lads behind us who would do the donkey work.
Lampard-esque.
No, not the same bracket as him, but I would get in the box.
I mean, the same sort of role.
Yeah,
Go and
get
in the box
forward.
and score a
Don't
goal.
really worry about what's behind you. You've got lads who do your donkey work, defensive sort of things, and get on the ball, and you play a bit higher up. So it suited me perfect. So that's why I think I had the success. And went to Sunderland. It was more sort of, can you get it from the back? It didn't suit me. Did not suit me whatsoever, and it was like you get the ball off the defence, because Dino liked to get forward.
Yeah.
And Dino was a fit lad and did really well, at Sunderland, and he liked to get forward. So at times I was thinking, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? It was sort of a newish role to me.
This time.
Yeah, a little bit. Where I just wanted the shackles. The shackles were on me a little bit. I just wanted to get forward, get in the box, and try and score. Listen, I'm not saying I would have scored bundles of goals and done really well, because, like I said earlier, the team did struggle and we didn't create many chances. If you know what I mean. But if I was let off the loose, I think it would have gotten the better out of me, best out of me.
It was a tough season,
It
wasn't
was
it?
a tough season.
Two local lads and local.
Yeah,
it was hard.
It wasn't nice to play.
No,
was
it
it?
wasn't.
Yeah, well, I think, did we get 15 points?
Yeah,
Something like that. But
But I mean,
Sunderland-
from the first
Yeah.
game of the season.
yeah, it
Charlton was the
struggle.
first game, wasn't it? And Darren
Yeah.
Bent had just left Ipswich at the same time, and he'd made his Premier League debut, and he scored 2 that day.
Within
He'd
15 minutes or
fly, and
something.
yeah.
So then you think, like, from the first game, you're thinking, fucking, this is going to be a.
Yeah.
This is going to be a.
And
start.
obviously, it was, Sleevesy spoke about it before. He signed Andy Gray and Steady, and if
Yeah.
they come in and hit the ground running, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, I
But
think the
it
little
was
money
it
he
was
did have was on sort of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mainly, he didn't have much money to play with, and you look at all the managers in Sunderland, sort of the last 5 years or whatever, who's been given a bit of cash. Like if Mick had been given a bit of cash, I think they'd have done well, and I think they'd have stayed in the Premier League and
Built from
where they
It's one of
belong.
them.
Yeah,
One of them clubs can be the best club you'll ever play
Oh,
for, or
yeah.
the worst. I said Billy Jones signed there from West Brom, and I said exactly the same thing. And for him, it was probably the worst. You know, if the team's doing well,
oh, it's the best place ever.
best ever.
But I know it's easy to
Fans
say
getting your
that.
back.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, being a local lad, I mean, it's got on everyone's back, but I think I felt it a bit more because I've lived around the area and I'm from the area and got friends who support Sunderland and friends of friends and what's your mate doing? Is it?
That's the thing, isn't it?
That's what it was. And listen, you've got to be mentally strong. It's
You
as
get
I
any
did.
in here? Any here?
Yeah, away from riff-raff.
I think I kept out of here. But when we beat Middlesbrough, I came in here, John. Because I scored that day. So,
did you?
Yeah. Buy me a pint, lads.
Have you got a mic?
Buy me a pint, lads. Mick, what do you want to drink? Mick's car's coming. Well, wait at the door, Mick. Come on, get yourself in.
You tell Mick I'll fucking get one. Can you remember who you got your points against? When you've only got 15, can you remember who you got your points
We drew with Man U. Remember that?
Away 0-0 on Friday
Old
night.
Trafford.
Keeper Kelvin, who didn't, again, another one who didn't have the best of spells. He had a blinder, man the match,
Yeah.
when he when like Ronaldo and all them played in it that day. And
I think that's
Mental.
the worst abuse I've seen from fans to a player like.
Yeah.
Somebody ran, I think a few people ran on the pitch at one. I think remember Matty Taylor for Portsmouth
scored that goal, didn't he, from just over?
scored from the halfway line. He went through a
yeah.
phase of just scoring from the halfway line.
Yeah.
He scored against Kelvin and the fans ran on.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Kelvin Davis, Southampton.
The thing is, man,
Superb, it's
he
like
went-
superb at Ipswich. It just had like I said earlier, all of us just struggled. It wasn't a happy place. It
Do you
wasn't a
think
good place.
the fans' reaction played a part of that? For some of the lads who maybe, like you said, to have that mental strength, do you think it got to some of the lads?
I just don't think we were good enough, were we?
No, lacked quality. Didn't have.
It
Quality.
wasn't for effort. Cause
No,
Mick-
we worked hard. It just
we weren't
wasn't
good enough.
Didn't have the quality. It's as simple as that. Weren't good enough.
What I was thinking about, this Leeds team, these same players have been getting dogs abuse off the Leeds fans for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Same, I mean, he hasn't changed that many players, and he's getting a tune out with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think,
Yeah.
is it always the player's fault? Is it,
Yeah.
they've raised their...
Are you flipping it? Sometimes you think it might be the manager's fault.
I don't know. It's there, isn't it?
They have a part to play, obviously, don't they?
That you've got Cooper, centre half, that Klitsch or whatever he's called. They're flipping...
Pulling up trees, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're on fire, yeah.
And they've-
Making you believe in yourself.
I think
it must be
I
good-
think it's
good-
a confidence thing. I think he must have gone in. I mean, we played against Leeds. Bielsa's first game in pre-season, and I think we might have drawn 1-1.
Yeah, you did.
We drew 1-1 against Leeds, Right? And I'm like, fucking hell, these are going to
struggle.
These are going to struggle here. And there must obviously. That was his first. I think it might have been our second pre-season game. So we're talking start back end of June. So we're talking middle of July here. So he's only got 3 weeks really till the start of the season.
Yeah.
Till they're starting them back in. But we've all been in teams where if you get a good start and it just gets the ball rolling, and it just seems to just gather momentum. And you get confidence.
Confidence.
And it's not
belief.
That's what it is. I think. I mean, when we got playoffs for Preston, a lot of games we were losing at half time.
Yeah.
But we knew that second half, because of how fit we were, believe it or not, I was fit back then. We knew that there was a chance that we could fucking go on and win the game.
Yeah.
Is a man manager far overshadow a good coach?
I think it goes a long way.
Yeah.
I think it's more important, mate.
Yeah.
Because
Look at Warnock. Sorry, John. Warnock's.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him being a great coach.
especially if you've got experienced lads who don't really need coaching. Really, do you? Do you know, from sort of, I don't know, if you've played 200 games, you don't really need coaching. You know the crap. All you need is coaching, as in, this is what I want from you.
Yeah.
How he's setting up.
How he's going to play.
How he wants you to,
4-4-2, 3-5-2. This is what I want you to do, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But from being 23, 24, you don't need coaching.
You think knowing who needs a bollocking and who needs an arm round them
Yeah.
plays a far bigger part.
And just, I mean, that obviously, when Tom were on about Ipswich, when they went to Tenerife and obviously dipped off towards the end. If Sheffield United, last international break, they might have gone Tenerife. They went away and they just watched exactly the same, got twatted for a week, come back, they've ended up going on and get promoted.
And go either way.
Yeah.
Leeds might have done the same.
So there's but I don't think Leeds would have done that.
No, I don't think they would.
Nobody else has got the old. Come on, lads, we're fucking down.
Yeah, come on, get slippery nipples over here, boys. Come on.
Yeah.
Shots in.
Passes me crops. Come on.
Get the shots in.
I tell you what didn't help with some of that
girl?
the pre-season. Remember the America trip?
It was a grind, wasn't it?
It was a shambles.
Was that 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks or something?
2.5 weeks
America,
of just travelling. Like we missed out so many.
Was that done for more? A monetary thing?
I think
for
so.
the club?
I think somebody paid for it and we were getting.
Yeah.
But we were like 3 hours on a coach, so we'd get there and Mick would be like, "Lads, we can't train now. Just have the afternoon off."
Yeah.
We landed back. Bear in mind we've been away for however long, 1.5 weeks. We played Hull the day after. The lads are asleep at the hotel.
Yeah.
You know, like 10 days before the start.
It's a lot of travelling.
That didn't help.
All the big guns are doing it now, aren't they? These Asian tours.
Yeah.
And
But they'll be going first class. They'll be lying down and.
They're for a month, don't they? I mean, they're like a month pre-season shit, don't they? You know what I mean?
They'll go
a
away a
large
bit.
part of the month, and they're going.
Yeah.
spread out rather than intense travel.
So they'll go to Japan and they'll plan it so the lads don't have to train for 2 days till they've got jet lag over and all that sort of shit.
How good was Taff?
Yeah, he's good, wasn't he?
Mick's assistant. One about assistant and manager being different. He was just brilliant, man. Ian Evans, he was called.
Good for the dressing room, wasn't he? Good.
Welsh fella, yeah.
If you looked at them from behind, they looked like identical. You know, like grey, biggish fellas.
Were you there when they had a row?
Don't think so. No.
Taff used to referee the five-a-sides, and Mick used to join in. And if Taff didn't give the right decision, Mick would
go mad.
Yeah.
And they were telling each other to fuck off and that. Practically squaring up.
Serious.
Mick, you know what he was like? Red in the face, you fucker. Taff didn't back down like.
No.
He had a wooden hip, didn't he?
Yeah.
He used to whip crosses in, but he couldn't move his, like, he had to swing his hip.
He's like with the hands.
Lenny used to have him on a piece of string, didn't he? Wind that hip up, Taff.
Tiny Tim.
Has he been at Ipswich with then?
I think he had to retire.
No,
I don't think he
O'Connor
does a bit of scouting and that for him, I think, but it's brilliant, man.
Teddy O'Connor was at...
He was at Wolves with him, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Black guy.
Yeah,
That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
So then Roy Keane comes in. Bit of a change.
Yeah, big change. Niall Quinn did it a little bit pre-season. well, Kevin Ball did it sort of the end of the season as we were getting relegated. Ball came in and took the rope, sort of, as you speak. And then Niall Quinn did a little bit of it in pre-season. He was like the chairman stroke caretaker. And then we played Plymouth, one of the first games of the season. And I got crocked after about 50 minutes, 55 minutes. Some lads caught us on my ankle. That had go off. And then Roy Keane comes in the following week. So I was on the treatment table. And I think the first couple of days he's sort of getting a feel for it, and then he brings in Dwight York, Liam Miller, Graham Kavanagh.
Are you knowing at this point? Are you seeing these faces come in and you're like...
Well, I'm thinking, obviously the club is being relegated. We got beat off Plymouth. We didn't have the best of starts in the Championship. First 3 games, I think we lost 2 and maybe drew 1. We were having a bit of a shocker. The owners are coming in, they're giving money.
Yeah, they've got a budget.
There's money to spend, budget. And Roy's sort of getting lads in who he knows, players who will improve the team, and which they did. And I got back about 3 weeks later and sort of didn't really materialise, didn't get in the team or anything like that. The team was doing well, or certainly doing all right. And now sort of floated about being sub.
Did he ever speak to you? Did he pull you in? And
not particularly, no, not for the sort of first few months. And I should have probably went and seen him. I think that's what he wanted. He liked if you sort of didn't go and see him, or if you didn't confront him, he didn't. I don't think he casted you aside. He liked confrontation.
I thought you were happy with where you were at. Like, if I'm not playing, I'm not playing.
Well, it was one of them where I just had twins as well. So if he wanted us to go, I probably wouldn't have budged. Like, do you know what I mean? At the time, I just had twins. I had to be around the family. And that's probably another reason why I probably didn't go to see him. Why am I not playing? Why am I not getting a chance? And if I'd have battered the door down...
You've been young and full of spunk.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, I just said twins, mate.
Exactly.
He's got no spunk.
Brilliant. But, so like I said, playing in the reserves and doing all right, scoring a few, but it wasn't to be, and it got to about November, Christmas time, and I was thinking, I need to get away. Like, there's a few clubs coming in for us on loan. Ipswich come in for us, obviously, where I'd just been for 4 years.
Fucking hell, like a boomerang back there.
I know. In Preston.
Were there rumours that you went to Romania? Or was that afterwards?
There was rumours, and there was in the paper that, again, don't know where that come from, don't know whether the agent was trying to get us out there, and Hadji was the manager of the team. I don't know if it was Steaua Bucharest, I think it was.
It was
Georgie Hadji.
Romania?
Romania.
The manager is.
Well, I'm a fussy eater to start with something. Got no chance. But I seen that rumour.
So you never went over?
It wasn't entertaining us there. How would you explain to the wife that? I've got twins. I'm just going to Romania.
Twins were. If twins won't settle on a night, I'd have gone to Romania. Just for a couple of months.
So I ended up, Preston came in as well. And it was one of them. Jim and John was the man at Ipswich who I'd played with for 4 years. Get on really well, and good friend of mine. Do I go there, or do I go to Preston? Obviously, shorter drive. And Preston were flying in the Championship, doing really well. Like I said earlier, just had the twins. They're only a couple of months old, 3 months old. I'm going to Preston. Decided to go to Preston, and Roy Keane's in my ear. You fucking need to go to Ipswich. Your fucking mate's been on the phone. You need to go to fucking Ipswich. Now, whether that's Irish, I don't know. But I'm trying my best.
Roy
Keane or Paddy and Murphy.
Or Roy Singh.
So he's sort of screaming at me, go to Ipswich, go to Ipswich. And I'm like...
Jim and Hilton must have known each other, eh?
Well, they had a big fallout on the phone. Massive
fallout.
About
you not going there?
Yeah, big fallout.
There must be something going on there.
And then obviously Roy's Republic, Jim's Northern Ireland, so they're shouting and screaming apparently at each other. Jim's told us the story.
Why though?
Because he always rang Jim and gone, you told me he was going to go to Ipswich and blah blah blah, I want him to go, because Preston were doing well in the league and they were above Sunderland in the same division. Now, I don't know why he thought I would go there and make such a difference, do you know what I mean? But he didn't want me to go to a team that was doing better.
Yeah.
Certainly at the time.
Because it'll reflect bad on him.
Possibly, I don't know. Possibly, he was a young manager starting out. Possibly, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I'd have made much of a difference anyway. But I decided to go to Preston. So, like I said, they had a big slang match, fallout, all this stuff. They're calling each other.
Is this just on loan?
Just on loan.
Yeah.
Just on loan.
Would Ipswich have taken you permanent?
Ipswich,
is that why I wanted you to go?
Well, I thought, like I said, Preston was a better commute for me at the time. It was more. And
Well, that's
Preston,
only on loan, the winner.
only on loan, and Ipswich was only on loan as well.
Right.
Ipswich was only on loan, so
You've made that mistake twice already, haven't you?
so I ended up going to Preston. Paul Simpson, the manager. It was six, 7 games.
With that, Tom.
All right, mate.
How long have we been?
What time do you need it for? 6?
5:45.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that way.
We'll try and rattle up quick as we can. We'll be as quick as we can, all right?
Just how long with the loan?
It was I think it was only for a month initially, and I ended up playing 6 games, 6, 7 games I think it was.
What manager did Simo?
Paul Simpson. Yeah, and I heard Sergio on the other week about Dennis Booth. What a character, assistant manager. He had some. Honestly, his crack was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, some great stories. But and Billy Barr as well. And again, Paul McKenna, he was on about it the other week. The warm-ups were a joke. Jesus Christ. Oh, the match day warm-ups were a joke. You were just running like in this square, flat out, and I'm thinking 8 diags in this like big box, like edge of the box to halfway line. It was ridiculous. And
It was too much for a fucking warm-up before the game.
Oh, it was crazy, but the team were going well. Obviously, Nugent was scoring a lot of goals. Simon Whaley was on fire at the time. Good characters: Graham Alexander, Callum Davison. It was a good. It was a good, good squad. And they got to the top of the league. You know, we got to the top of the league. So, and then we played Sunderland, which was in one of my games, and that week leading up, Paul Simpson saying to me, he's going, I haven't heard nothing from Sunderland there. I think you're all right to play Saturday. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, like. And I'll double check though, and he double checked. I think he ran up, and Roy Keane was, no, he can play, no problem, let him play. So I thought, all right. So it was very surreal.
That must have been a strange thing,
ridiculous. So got to Sunderland on the Saturday, playing them Saturday, and we beat them 1-0.
Put it away as well.
At Sunderland as well, yeah.
Fuck me.
So I'm not knowing what to expect. I'm obviously a Sunderland player on loan at Preston, playing against Sunderland. Mental. But
did you have a good game?
did quite well. Yeah, did quite well.
Any abuse?
No, not particularly. I mean,
Just a weird situation.
weird situation. When we scored, I was like, I was sort of pleased because I'm wanting to show him what I can do. He's obviously getting rid of us, doesn't fancy us, so he sent us out on loan. So I'm sort of thinking, fucking 2 fingers up to you. But at the same time, I'm thinking, these fans here, do I celebrate? It was very strange. And
I don't
then
think I've ever known that before.
it was crazy.
It's usually all boxed off, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't play against your parent club and all that stuff.
Right,
and
yeah, so before he signed him, he's not going to play in that game. No.
But it didn't surprise me with Roy Keane.
Understandably.
It doesn't surprise you with Roy Keane, does it? He does what he wants, and it was one of them. And at the end of the game, some of the lads have come out into the sort of players' bar after, and they go, "Hey," all he said was at the end of the game, he said, "Fucking hell," he said, "we're getting beat off them." He said, "And you're the best player. Tommy Miller's the best player for them. He's man of the match. He's one of ours." And it was mental, absolutely mental. So I ended up going back to Sunderland 2 weeks sort of later, but I didn't figure after that. He sort of kept us on the bench, and I don't know whether he just brought us back to, well, not to waste my time, but he didn't use us.
Yeah.
But Sunderland were going well as well. You know what I mean? They were flying.
When because he sent Rory Delap on loan, and the game, Stoke played Sunderland on the Tuesday night, and on the Monday we had a meeting, and reporters are asking us about whether I'm going to let Rory play. He said, "I'm not going to begrudge the cunt a game." He said, "Sorry, I shouldn't have called him a cunt or whatever. He's a lovely lad, but I'm not going to begrudge him a game." Anyway, we played on the Tuesday night. Rory's playing for Stoke. First 5 minutes, he's gone into a 50-50 with Robbie Elliott. His leg just snapped in half.
Yeah.
So Rory broke his leg playing for Stoke against Sunderland. And he's
Rory Delap?
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
But I think it was Roy Keane.
So his teammates,
Yeah.
not intentionally,
No.
but his teammates broke his leg.
Yeah. Robbie Elliott it was, and Robbie
Yeah.
was flipping,
Great lad,
obviously
wasn't he?
mortified.
Yeah.
But I think Roy was seeing it as he was doing a favour for Rory, saying, I'm not going to begrudge him a game.
Let him play.
Let him play, like, not a case of being a bit sloppy and whatever. But it was just, what are the chances?
So you moved, permanent move after...
Yeah, so my 2 years at Sunderland was up. Went back to Sunderland. Sunderland got promoted. Obviously, fantastic season. In the end, Roy did a good job. You know, he got them over the line. Got them to the Premier League, which is where they belong. You know, a club of that size. And I ended up going back to Ipswich. You know, Jim was obviously still the manager. And I know, can't get away, can I?
You're like a cold sore, aren't you?
Boomerang.
Get ready for a bit, but then you have to put some more survivor. Comes back
again.
What was it like playing for your mate?
Yeah.
Because he had the ball.
Yeah, he's crazy. I mean...
Yeah, Dave Norris spoke about him.
When I played with him, Jesus Christ, if you did not pass him the ball, he would not speak to you for about a week. And this was supposed to be my friend. You know, give me the ball. He's on the edge of his 6-yard box. Jim, you've got 3 round you. Just give me the ball. He was just, what a good footballer though. Yeah. Very good footballer. Really, really good footballer. And then as a manager, you know, we did quite well, you know, with what we had. And it was sad the way it ended with Jim, because again, going back to, if he'd had the money what Marcus Evans give to Roy Keane after that, Jim would have gotten Ipswich over the line 100%, because we had some decent players, and if he'd have gotten money just to add to it, we'd have gotten over the line. So the end of the 2 years was coming close. Jim said to me March time, he went, listen, I don't know what's happening with me. He said, we were about 3 points off the playoffs. He went, if we don't get in the playoffs, I'm gone. Jim, I'm finished, you know, I'll be getting the sack or whatever, so they'll be bringing someone else in. If you can get yourself sorted, get yourself sorted. So again, heads up.
Was the expectation at Ipswich minimum playoffs then back at that time?
Yeah, because they'd been in the Premier League a few years prior to that, and obviously tasted Europe, and it was
on the playoffs a few.
Yeah, the expectation was still the playoffs, and still sort of be getting there, even though the money was sort of cut a little bit. But like I said, Marcus Evans came in. Going back to sort of Jim Magilton saying to us, listen, get yourself sorted. So Sheffield Wednesday came in, Brian Laws. I met Brian Laws on the M1 somewhere. Him and Russ Wilcox came down. It was about end of March time, and got the deal done. I knew where I was going, and it was just so happens, I think the next week, Jim gets the sack before the season finishes, and he's Roy Keane Bolden. Well, you can imagine.
So the deal's already done.
Deal's done. I'm happy, and when Roy Keane comes in, I'm doing somersaults because I'm saying to the lads, all the best. And
good luck, lads.
Good luck, all the best. I'm off. Now,
I wish you the best, but off a trot.
He's come through the doors, and there's a meeting going on there. The new manager's coming in, and we're hearing it's Roy Keane. You know, a few rumours. It's going to be Roy Keane. I'm thinking, why is he coming to Ipswich? What is happening here? So he comes through the doors. The first thing he says is, all right, Tommy, you didn't think you'd see me again, did you? And I thought, fucking hell, no, I didn't. So I knew then, but I knew where I was going. And again, I played a couple of games for him, and then I was on the bench, and but I knew where I was going. I ended up going to Sheffield Wednesday, and like I said, Roy got quite a bit of money to spend at Ipswich and couldn't get them over the line, you know, so he then moved on after that. But Sheffield was the next stop.
You a little bit pleased about that?
No, I wasn't, but listen, he had money to spend, and he should have gotten them over the line for the money he had, or he certainly should have had them up there challenging, and he didn't.
What did he sign then? Or when he got the money at Ipswich, what did he sign?
Did Murph go?
Murph was what? Yeah, Murph
Darryl
was
Murphy.
There. Yeah. Marcus Evans.
Grant
was one of them. Yeah. He just couldn't get them over the line, and I suppose if you've been released twice, I'm not going to sort of sit here and say, yeah, I was gutted he didn't get them over the line. Yeah, exactly.
I think he's an arsehole, don't you?
I don't think he's an arsehole. I just think he could deal with things better, and he's man management. He liked confrontation. Bit of a, not a bully, but he was.
He's a bully.
No,
He's a bully.
Just say it, Tom.
It was one of them.
He's a fucking bully, Tom. Keane's a bully.
So I was delighted it didn't work out for him at Ipswich.
No, Ipswich in
but
general.
I would have loved Ipswich to get back up.
Thatcher
Sad to see where they are.
Wasn't he? Ben Thatcher.
Wow. Going back to gym briefly, because I've just missed this one out. This was a beauty. Comes to around Christmas time, the lads is obviously, we play Boxing Day, which you know about obviously every year. Got Millwall at home on Boxing Day, so the lads are saying, what's happening Christmas Day that week leading up? Itinerary comes out, training Christmas Day, which is the norm at most clubs I've been to, and certainly yourselves. And it was going to be 8:30 in the morning. Now, it was either first thing on the morning or late in the afternoon if you were travelling somewhere, wherever I've been, and like I said yourselves. So we're training at 8:30. So Thatcher that week's got 3 kids, he lives in Surrey. So he's thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? You know, he's just sort of Cockney slang. Got 3 kids, he needs to be there to open the presents and all that. Fuck it, I get a helicopter. They're all.
On Christmas Day.
So we're thinking here.
That's an awful That's nice.
But, so we're thinking, all right then, okay Ben. So,
Thinking he's just pillicking like.
well, yeah. So we're all at training, Christmas Day, 8:20, all on the training pitch, ready. Everything's set up, cones is all out. Where's Thatcher? We're all sort of having a bit of that, not coming, is he? Not coming. All of a sudden, this helicopter circles. It's doing. We're looking up, we're thinking, no, surely not. Christmas Day, surely not. Circling and circling. All of a sudden, bosh. Playford Road, Ipswich training ground, it lands.
In the middle of the training ground?
Just away from where obviously all the cones and everything was set up. Just on the
I'm
pitch a
blowing,
bit
yeah,
further
cool,
down.
I'm blowing up.
Even
Is
better.
that or I'm sailing in?
Milton, Neil Dares wins.
Annika Rice.
Oh shit, SAS.
Even better, he jumps out this helicopter, fully kitted up, training gear on, boots, the lot. Come on, boys, let's go. He's fucking running around the training. Unbelievable. We were just.
So he made it for 8:30. He wasn't
made
late.
it for 8:30, wasn't late. Unbelievable.
You know the manager here, Roy Keane?
Jim Magilton. Jim Magilton, going back to it, yeah, sorry, I missed it earlier on. Helicopter, where's it? This must have cost a fortune, like Christmas Day. He's a friend of mine, or whatever. Right. So the helicopter takes off, goes away, comes back about an hour later or whatever, and picks him up. Unbelievable.
You went home in the chopper as well?
Oh, I went home in the chopper. Unbelievable. It was mental. But again, with Thatch, like on a night out, he was the one you sort of had to keep away from him because he gets a few drinks in him and he's like, what's this? And all of a sudden, he just slide and tackle someone on the dance floor. Just wipe the lot of them out. 2 foot, wipe a lot of them out. And we're thinking,
Random, just
normal people. Not bothered, could have been anyone, old, young.
men, women.
I tell you, he's like, you watch this. And he's like, all of a sudden, he's like, the lot out. It was.
Imagine being on a night out and getting 2-footed.
Yeah, just that like just dancing away and then
He's
Bites over your face.
I was in Magaluf one year and he's ringing me and he's going, are you in Magaluf? And I went, yeah. He said, I'm in Parma, I'm coming to see you. I'm thinking, oh no, please. And he come over with his brother-in-law, Luke Young. Remember Luke Young?
Yeah.
Live at Cheltenham, Tottenham, cute behind that. Came up, well, I won't say what happened like for one of the days, but carnage, absolute carnage. But a great lad, great character. And no, I'll leave it. You can get him on and he'll tell you. But no, great lad.
So Sheffield Wednesday after that?
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday.
Brian Laws, what were he like?
Brian Laws was all right. Again, decent. I went there for 2 years, and I think the first week I've gone to tackle Leon Clark in training. I've sort of gone up like that with my leg and tore my thigh, my recthem muscle or whatever. So I was out for 6 weeks. So I missed all the pre-season, and after that I just felt like I was playing catch up. Didn't get back. Getting more injuries than enough. I tore my hamstring. I've never ever been the quickest player. So whether it was an age thing, I was getting up, 31, you know what I mean, 30, 31. And
It's that, mate. I think it's that pre-season, mate. You know, if you miss the pre-season, you're struggling. As horrible as it is, you do need to do it, don't you?
It don't help when you're going to Malta pre-season. It was like a holiday camp. You know what I mean? The lads are out every night. Great for social. You know what I mean?
It's great at the time, innit?
Nicky Weaver there.
He came after that the year later, but Mickey Gray was there. Franny Jeffers.
Yeah.
Darren Potter.
He was crap, weren't he, Franny Jeffers, when he came?
He struggled with injuries. He was there before.
What, the old Maltonitis?
Well, I was rooming with him, Franny, in Malta. I'm dead tidy, you know. I'd tidying stuff up, folding his gear up and that, and putting it on things, and he's chucking things down. I got a bit of OCD, I mean, so I'm looking at him thinking, Franny, you know what I mean? Like, I was cleaning up after him all the time. But no, some good characters, but it was like a holiday camp. You were out every night, and we were staying bang central. You couldn't have gotten any more central. The lively music's on till the early hours. It's
a great idea at the time, innit?
Great idea at the time for team bonding, but
start the season like a sack of shit.
Yeah,
Feeling it.
Reflects on it, yeah.
Alan and then Gary Megson comes in as well.
Yeah, Alan Irvine and then Gary Megson.
I think we can put Megson in. We make it into a famous five, not the Fab Four.
I think he's
in.
Just creeping in.
Megson.
Yeah.
See, I thought he was brilliant, mate.
The Super Six.
Yeah, it's going to be a Super Six.
And he was fucking brilliant.
How did you find him?
Found him all right. He used to live at the bottom of my street. Again, all these managers I'm saying I find all right. I know, and live near us.
Red Apple.
I used to see him all the time. Again, in the pub or in the shop or driving down the street. And
Is this in Sheffield?
Sheffield, yeah. And it was all right, but I signed a 2-year deal. And the second year I had to play so many games, and I got a new deal on more money. In the first year, Sheffield Wednesday got relegated to League One, and I was on the same money, so I was one of the bigger sort of wage earners at the time.
He was being elbowed.
Yeah, I think so, by the owners, and he pulled us in. He was more or less honest with us. He said, "Listen, if you start 2 more games, your contract sort of kicks in. Like you get another year automatically on more money." And he made us captain prior to sort of this, and I knew it was coming up to how many starts and stuff like that, and like I said, he pulled us in.
Keeping an eye on it,
and then but all the time he was, don't worry, I'll sort you out at the end of the season, you'll get a new deal. So I thought everything was going to be alright, like. So end of season you go in, as you do, end of season meetings and all that, players going in one by one, coming out the door, you get a deal, nah, finish mate, see you later, clapping, shaking hands and stuff. So I've gone in expecting I get a year here, you know what I mean? Said I'm going to get
Tom, but
said I'm going to get something.
A bit less.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You'd have taken it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, massive club, massive club. So I've gone in and he went, problem is, you're not getting a new deal.
That is a problem, Gary. It's a fucking big problem, Gary. In fact, it's a fucking hell of a problem, Gary.
Is that for parking on your drive? But no, so it sort of threw me a little bit.
So how did you react?
What do you fucking mean, like, Gary? It wasn't Gaffer. It was Gary.
It's Tommy. It's not Steve who's not played all fucking season. It's Tommy.
What do you fucking mean, like, Gary? Nothing on the table. The cupboard's bare. I know Sedgwick used to do the story where with his phone, the phone is not ringing. About people wanting you and stuff like that when you're out of favour. But so yeah, it threw me a little bit, and so I went on my way, and that was it.
Did you give him a bit of shit? Did you?
Well, that was it. I mean, I'm not the one to sort of make a song and dance and kick and fuss, but listen, football's football, and I was pissed off a little bit, yeah. So it ended, pretty bad, and ended up going to Huddersfield, which was the next stop. Under Clyde, yeah, Lee Clark.
Character, man. Character.
Oh yeah, good. You came towards the end, didn't you?
I thought he was brilliant as a fella. Absolutely brilliant fella, but I think he got to the point where
Right
on.
No,
cheers, mate.
I know. Well, you might have to finish it somewhere else, like.
I think the thing with Clarkie was
10 past.
I might have to come and meet you somewhere, like at a later date or whatever.
Yeah, we could do
Could
that.
be on the edges here, like I've got the Canio, everything.
Canio and all. We're back. Tommy, how have you
Round
been?
2.
We're back. Where have you been, lads? Been waiting for you.
Same destination,
outside, yeah.
same destination, but there's been a Benidorm trip, a Magaluf trip, a Magaluf and a Dublin trip in between.
Busy time, lads. Busy time.
Forgot where we left off.
I think Sheffield Wednesday. I think.
Who
I've
was
been
it?
Sheffield Wednesday. Decent memory of time.
I said on the way up, I went, Tommy will remember. He'll know where we went.
Yeah.
So then is it just scramble then trying to find a club over at summer?
It is a little bit last minute. You know what I mean?
So you're what now, 32, 33?
Yeah. 32, 33, coming towards the end. The end is near.
Yeah.
This year. And then Lee Clark rang us. He said, "How do you fancy coming to Huddersfield?" And I thought, yeah, great. You know, Bradford were interested as well. They were League 2 at the time. Huddersfield were League 1.
And having a go.
Yeah, and having a go. And I spoke to Peter Jackson quite a few times from Bradford. And I got close, it was close. And then Lee Clark came in sort of again, and he went, "Listen, we'll give you what you're sort of after." And I went there for a year. And pleased I did, you know, it was a good season. We got promoted at the end at Wembley. Missed a penalty.
I came that season, didn't I?
You came that season, yeah. You got signed because
Fucking hell, I've got another promotion on my CV, mate. I've got another fucking promotion, that's
you had
great.
you had a month, didn't you?
2 months.
2 months.
Mate,
You
honestly.
come for Alan Lee, or did you come for Jordan Rhodes? One of them
think-
got injured, didn't they? And you come as what's the Alan Lee?
It must have been Big Al, it can't have been Jordan, can it? No, Jordan, yeah, it must have been Big Al. Big Al got injured, but
Yeah.
this mate, like, I'm an unlucky fucker, me, right? Honestly, I am a very, very unlucky man. Like, you can tell with my looks, right? So, went to Huddersfield, they'd not got beat.
We got the record, 53 games, wasn't it?
53 games have not got beat
Yeah.
in a competitive match, was it? Or a league match or
From the
something?
season before and then the league and stuff, yeah.
53
League
games.
It's a record.
Yeah. So my first game, Charlton away. Charlton.
Starting?
Starting. Like, I've come from Cardiff, like up top of the championship to Huddersfield.
I got dragged at half time that day, I remember that well. Yeah.
Charlton Athletic 2, Huddersfield 0. So, like, it's his first game, we'll give him another one. Brentford at home on the Saturday. Huddersfield 0, Brentford 1. They've not got beat for 53 games. They got beat my first, so I never fucking played again. I never played again. Like, luckily for me, it were over Christmas and January, so I was back home. So I weren't really that arsed, you know what I mean? I could have been in Cardiff, in hell in Cardiff, or at Huddersfield just going in for crack and that. So I was buzzing, mate, honestly. Fucking 53 games and my first 2 get beat both. As you fucking Donald.
How did you get on with Clarkey?
Yeah, good. Yeah, very good. Paul Stevenson was his assistant manager, and what always.
You played with him, did you?
Yeah, played with Steve-O, so yeah, very good. Clark was good coach, good manager. I enjoyed playing for him.
I tell you what I found with him, obviously I'm only with him for 2 months. I think he held a few players back me with fear. Because he used to go fucking ballistic.
Oh, he went mad, yeah.
Went mad,
He
when
flipped his coin a few.
And I think he got to the point where, like, you got some good young players there at the time. You got sort of Callum Woods, Jack Hunt.
Yeah.
You know,
Danny Ward was there as well.
Wardy, young lads, and I think they got to the point where they were scared to make a mistake.
Yeah.
So I think it fucking stifled them a little bit.
Did he not counteract it with like man management as well? He was just in your face.
He was alright with me, but I was one of the experienced lads, so I think as Party was saying there, probably as the younger lads, he did sort of have a bit more of a go. Callum Higginbottom as well, remember him? I don't know if he was there when you were there.
Shouldn't be like that, I don't think.
Not really.
If he's going to be like that with a young lad, he should be like that with you.
I'd have thought
Exactly. Exactly.
If he carries on managing further, we'll have an heart attack outside at pitch.
Yeah, he looked ill.
Yeah,
He used to
very
be
intense.
fucking
Intense.
kicking the dugouts and all, even though the stone, kicking the dugouts, mate. He used to be going fucking mad, beetroot red. Came when he fetched that fucking psychologist.
What nickel?
What nickel? Oh Jesus! What nickel? What nickel?
He's got books and everything. This one.
Apparently he's-
DVDs. He's massive.
He's well renowned. And he comes
We
in
spoke
with.
about what before? I'm sure we have. Pardon, copper.
Mate, he comes in with a fucking there's always a tramp on the street singing. Comes in with like a fucking old 70s speaker, and then he does his shit to this story. He talks about this singer who he helped.
Michael Bolton on it.
Yeah.
It's a big hit.
I've heard this before. I've heard this
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
He either wrote the words or it was something along the lines, wasn't it?
When I'm back on my feet again. If it weren't for Watney, that record had never got released.
And now he's at Huddersfield.
The funniest thing was, after he'd been in, the lads are playing it in the dressing room before we go out.
I walked in
and
with
I'm
it on
like,
my
what
phone.
is going on here?
Walked in with to obviously go in, and we're just playing on my phone, like whistling away.
What nickel, yeah.
Fucking eccentric, like that eccentric old guy, weren't he?
Yeah.
Did the majority of the lads buy in on... No, obviously not. You're having a laugh in the
It might
dressing
have been
room.
about 2 or 3. I don't think there was many, was there? Don't think there was many.
He didn't bring Steve Black in, did he? Did you ever meet
Blackie
him?
as well, he came in, yeah.
He's got a condition. What's the one where you just fall asleep randomly?
Liz.
It's a medical condition. Is it?
Lazy bastarditis.
Negrophilia or something like that.
Necrophilia.
No, it's definitely not necrophilia. 100% not necrophilia.
Google a condition.
Necrophilia is when you're fucking shagging corpses, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, has he still got a job? Has he still got a job, this Eric Black, or what? He
something like
wants to be on fucking listening, I'm fucking coaching.
He'd be talking away at the lads and he'd just fall asleep.
I've just said it, narcolepsy, that.
Narcolepsy.
What did that?
Far off there, Christopher.
Better than necrophilia.
He just falls asleep on a corpse. Fucking hell, Blackie. I tell
You know who he is though, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I tell you what he could do. He could go and see him fucking what Nickel him.
They got on well then too. Tell you. A big fella, wasn't he? Massive fella, and he was trying to tell you about fitness and stuff. He was very good at what his profession, wasn't he?
He was tight with Johnny Wilkinson, wasn't he?
Yeah, the
With
big rugby man, yeah.
he used to get us scoring goals without a football. You know, why? He's one of them.
What?
I missed.
That's the only way he could do it.
I still couldn't hit the target.
Unlucky Brownie, you just wide. Right, imagine the shooting today. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't we do it with a ball? I'm better with a ball.
I teed myself up for that one, didn't I?
It was like hypnosis. Nobody ever snapped him out of a Blackburn, did they? Try and score a goal with that ball. Fucking hell, player.
Classic.
So you got fucking 33 in your career then, did you? only 27 with a ball.
Brilliant.
Simon Grayson.
Yeah, Lee Clark got the sack, and then Simon Grayson came in.
So you'd gone up by this time, had you?
No, still during the season. This must have been just after you left. It was about February time. January, February, I can't remember exactly, but you obviously weren't there.
Yeah.
He came in, Simon Grayson, Lee Clark got the sack, surprisingly really. I think we'd lost a few games and we'd slipped out.
So you've got another manager to sack. Another one.
Hello, we weren't even there.
I got him sacking 2 games, man.
After John went. Lost a few games, I think we were about 4th, which was, still in a great position. He'd getting an unbeaten record or whatever, 53 games, he got the bullet, which was very surprisingly.
Grayson looks
Grayson
nervous.
came in.
Is he a nervous fella like?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I know so.
Was it completely different then?
Tried to change a few things, but because we were doing pretty well, do you know what I mean? He kept the same personnel. Tried to change a few things in training, kept the same shape, formation, stuff like that. And obviously we had Jordan Rhodes up front, where he'd get you a goal out of nothing. He would do, he's all know him. He could do nothing for 89 minutes. He might touch the ball 3 or 4 times, but the 5th one's a goal. Do you know, he in and around the box, good movement, scores all sorts of goals.
Yeah.
Build up play, link up play, not really
Non-existent,
effective.
really.
Exactly. But,
It's almost a luxury.
yeah.
It's almost a luxury player. If he doesn't score, you're playing with 10 men pretty much.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't work hard.
Oh, he worked his socks off, really
But-
fit lad, yeah.
On the ball is a sort of as Tommy said, if he doesn't score, it don't really do that
I
much.
wouldn't notice he was playing really, but for a goal scorer, Jesus, frightening. You know what I mean? Especially that season.
Remember the game at Sheffield Wednesday? We drew away at Sheffield Wednesday. We drew 4-4 at Sheffield Wednesday. He scored all 4.
Scored all 4. We both had our Christmas party that night. I don't know if you came. Newcastle. We went to Newcastle. Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield.
I came on the. I came up on the Sunday morning.
Yeah. 4-4. He scored in the last second, and obviously his dad, Sheffield Wednesday goalie coach.
Yeah.
So and Megson was the manager of Sheffield Wednesday, so I was obviously delighted. He fucked me off the year before. And we were doing better than them in the league, or round about the same. You know what I mean? So Grayson came in.
Was that completely different then? Like what you were saying about Clark to Grayson, you're saying he's a bit nervous.
Because I've never worked with him, but I saw him on that Sunderland documentary, and he looked shit scared of the lads and that.
I always thought he was on edge a bit. You know, if you had talks with him in the sort of office, and he couldn't look at you. You know, like he couldn't look you in the eye. It was a bit like he was wandering all over, and you were trying to get something out of him, and he was sort of just. His eyes were wandering all over.
How's that work as a manager though?
You get a few like that.
He's done well, hasn't he? I mean, he's got promotions on his CV, plenty. Strange.
Surely you've got to be able to talk to your player.
I'm surprised how many people don't like the confrontation. A lot of them get the assistant in with them.
Yeah.
So you'll sit down.
Yeah, Snods was in there all the time, you know, doing Snod, and he
Doing the
quality,
dirty.
you know what I mean? He was good for the dressing room, you know, a bit of banter. He was a good morale.
If you're having an argument with Phil Mitchell, you want fucking Grant there with him.
It's true though.
That's what it is.
But that's just because they don't like confrontation.
I don't think Phil would avoid eye contact though.
Well, probably not.
I think they'd be straight on it.
Yeah, there's a lot like that. Because you're going in for an adult conversation, aren't you? But if you're going to be saying something that you don't like, and they can't really back up, that's when they start fucking getting all
panicking.
Oh! You know, and squirming into the chair.
Yeah.
Whereas a manager who just said, you're fucking not playing because you've not been good enough.
Yeah.
And
straight.
that's the difference between.
So what made him a good manager then?
I think the players, what we had some good players in the dressing room. I think listen, there wasn't much wrong. As I said earlier, we were 4th in the league. We'd lost a few games, sort of gone from 1st to 4th. But we had a good group of players. We had a good dressing room. Obviously, he still got to pick the team and sort of set us up and stuff like that and do training. But I think the players were there. You know, we had good players, and we got lucky. We got lucky in the playoff final. You know, we beat MK Dons in the semi-final. And we played Sheffield United in the final, and it was a crap game. It was rubbish. 0-0. A lot of them are cagey, no one wants to give anything away. It was red hot. It must have been 30 odd degrees. It was boiling. A few chances here and there. End of extra time, about 5 minutes to go. I've nearly scored. The lads cleared it off the line. Michael Doyle. So it goes to penalties. So red hot day. I've gone into the toilet, come back out. He's Rhodesy standing with the ball. He's gone. Just chucked it in as he went, you're up first, get us off to a good start. Off your ball, mate.
I've not even washed my hands.
Ball slips out my hands. I'm like, who's watching here? So he says, get us off to a good start. So I think, all right then. I mean, I took penalties all my career. And towards the end of my career, I did miss a few. I think I got to about 34 out of 34, which is obviously a decent record. And I missed one at Sheffield Wednesday, and then my confidence slipped a little bit and missed a couple after that. Anyway, he's given us the ball, he's gone, you get us off to a good start. So I'm going, right, okay. So I'm walking up to where the
Were you at the Huddersfield?
Yeah, Huddersfield end. A long walk, very
Confident?
long walk. Yeah, pretty confident. So I've gone up, done my usual sort of, my run and my style, or whatever technique, and I've hit it, and I haven't hit it great, let's be honest. And the keeper's gone the right way, and as soon as I've hit it, and I've seen him that side, and he saved it. And devastated. You know, you're devastated, gutted. Fans are like fucking sighing. Sheffield United fans are cheering. So I've come back towards the halfway line. Peter Clark, who was the captain at the time, he's gone, don't worry, someone else will miss. I'm thinking, okay, cheers, thanks for that. But no, it did.
Some other fucking arsehole will miss, don't worry about it.
I mean, to be fair at the time, it was the right words, you know what I mean? And it was good of him to say that, so we get it all in the huddle. And I don't know if they scored there first, but it ended up, we missed our first 3. Me, Alan Lee and Damien Johnson.
Oh, Johnson.
Well, yeah, you know him, don't you? So we missed our first 3. And obviously they missed, I don't know if they missed the first two. Well, anyway, they missed it, so it was the scores were all level, and then the lads were scoring, and it got to the goalkeepers. So Simonson was up for them. Steve Simonson obviously saved my penalty and saved a few of the other lads. So I'm thinking, if he scores here, I'm back up. It goes back round again.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, fuck. Is this a wind up, this?
Did you go for another piss?
Tommy! Tommy!
But if I disappear here, someone else will go. So Simonson stepped up and he blazed it over the bar. Well, I was fucking delighted.
So Simo had to score.
Had to score. Alex
keep
Smith
it going.
scored for us.
Right.
To obviously put us one up front. Simonson steps up and he blazed it over the bar. So relief, obviously, delighted. And
More relief that you'd got promoted, or more relief that you have to take another pen?
Bit of both, I think. Bit of both. But great day, obviously, that you get promoted. If there's a way to do it, it's through the playoffs at Wembley. You know, all the fans. As much as I missed the penalty, it sort of masked over. But I missed it and we'd got beat. I'll still be thinking about it now, I think. But good day, got promoted, and again another Gary Megson, really. I've got in the end.
No way.
End of the season, and like I say, I'd played a lot for him when he come in, Simon Grayson. But listen, the league goes up, and he's looked at my age and thought couldn't do it. Damon Johnson was there at the same time as well. He was a similar age. Maybe he's one of the two, and he's obviously give John another year. He said to me, thanks for everything, but that's it. So
It's mad though, isn't it? Because imagine if you got beat, the chances are you probably might have given another year anyway.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, in fairness, I was travelling to Huddersfield every day. I'd moved back home after Sheffield Wednesday. Got the kids in primary school, sorry. So I was travelling every day. I wasn't staying over. I mean, it's only an hour and a half. It wasn't a big deal. An hour and a half there, an hour and a half back though. So it's 3 hours a day. But having said that, I ended up going to Swindon after that. I was going to say, but I didn't travel every day.
That's surely uncommutable, that fucker.
We'll go.
You wouldn't have experienced Palo de Canio.
Oh, I mean, it was funny because in the summer after I'd left Huddersfield, I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought, do I try and get a club nearer home? Hartlepool was sort of sniffing. I was thinking, do I go back to Hartlepool? It's perfect. It's on my doorstep. Team I obviously started off on and got a real good feeling for them, you know what I mean? I had some great memories there starting off as a kid. And then I get a phone call one day and I didn't recognise the number, and the answer machine sort of kicks in. So I've listened to it and it's gone, hi Tommy, it's Phil Spencer here, Palo de Canio's agent. And I'm thinking, hang on. Phil
Tim
Spencer.
Swallows.
Straight away, location.
Is it fucking Frank's brother? Is it come winding me up?
I thought it's one of you messing about, Brownie, or whoever, prank calls, you know, over the years. So I thought, I'm not bringing this back, like, I left it. So the next day I'm thinking, sort of questioning myself, thinking, was it really like Di Canio's agent? So the next day after that, gets another phone call. Hi Tommy, it's Phil Spencer. I don't know whether you've picked my message up. It's Paolo Di Canio's agent. Can you give us a ring ASAP, please? So I thought, right, I'm going to ring him.
If it's a wind up, I'll just take it on the chin. I'll take it on the chin. I need
You've done it, lads. You've done it.
Yeah, exactly. So I rings him up. I go, hi Phil, it's Tommy. I got your message. He went, oh hi, how are you doing? It's just Paolo's been asking the question. Are you available to come down on Saturday morning for a chat? We'd like to sign you. Blah blah blah. So right, okay. I said, I'll get the train down then, from where I live, because obviously a bit of a trek. He went, yeah, get the train. We'll pay for it, and we'll obviously give you your expenses. So I gets down. Never been to Swindon before to play, but never ever sort of been there for longer than a game situation. So I've gone to the ground. The secretary's sort of in the office. She's gone, oh, Paolo's waiting for you in his room. So I've gone along the corridor. I've gone in this room, and he is sitting there. Well, listen, we all know what a legend, what a fantastic player he was. Obviously, I'd known from the season before, and the couple of seasons he'd been a manager, very intense, very high pressure. He's fell out a lot of players, passionate, all this stuff. So I've gone in, I sat down. He went, all right, Tommy. He said, you missed the penalty at Wembley? I went, yes. I didn't mean to, you know.
You're speaking Italian
It's right, it's Italian and Irish. The accents are terrible. He gone, let me tell you, you won't take the penalties for me. So I'm thinking, I haven't signed yet. So he's gone, I won't do any more Italian accent because that's terrible. So he's gone, listen, you have to buy into what I do here at this football club. He said, no days off. Okay. No days off. He says, this English mentality of Wednesdays off during the week, middle of the week, break it up. No chance. He said, Wednesday, the most important day.
I think I'd have just shook his hand and said, we'd have picked my expenses up, Palo. I'm off.
See the secretary. So I'm just sort of nodding my head and I'm thinking, is this real? Like, is it really no days off?
And you think it's just a test?
Yeah. So I'm sort of nodding my head thinking, okay. So he's talking about how he likes his teams to play and he's got to be fit, very fit, high energy, all this sort of stuff. He said, go away and have a think about it and give me an answer in a few days' time. So I've gone home, spoke to the family. I'm thinking, Swindon, miles away. Do you know what I mean? I think I've worked it out. It's 480 mile round trip. So I'm thinking, it was a good offer. Do you know, it was a fantastic offer what he put to us. I'm thinking, I'm going to go for it. Mainly because it's him.
Yeah.
The aura, the sort of who it is. Palo de Canio. And the days off didn't sort of scare me because I thought, shoot, he's bluffing a little bit. So I've signed. Went down, signed.
And you tell your missus that there's no days off?
I did. And
she was like, fucking get signed.
Got 2 little ones. Yeah, get signed. Got 2 little ones.
Go on, Tommy, I'll see you in May.
Well, I'm champion, so I get me a job in a hotel, the village hotel. So I stayed there for about 2 months, lived in there. It was perfect. You know, it was ideal. So anyway, we were going to Italy for 2 weeks pre-season. I think we did 2 weeks before Italy. No days off. Monday all the way through to Sunday, and it was solid. Pre-season was the hardest Listen, I've been to Austria and wherever with Alan Irvine and stuff like that, and that's hard. But this was ridiculous. Went to Italy 2 weeks. You're talking 3-4 sessions a day. It was full on. It was like a prison camp. Hotel where we stayed, well, if you can call it that, it was a training complex, pitches out the front. It was ideal for what we needed. 4 times a day, you're up at 6-7 o'clock in the morning, you're doing yoga, you're doing weights, and then you go into a bit of running. Now the running was ridiculous. There was a track there.
Toughest you've done?
Toughest I've ever done. It was ridiculous. He would make up random things. I mean, you had the fitness coach who would, listen, they all just did what he told them. You know, he was the boss. They just bowed to him and did all the stuff. The assistant manager and the fitness coach had an English physio.
They're all Italian?
English physio was the only, you know what I mean? He was the only one. Goalkeeper coach who was Italian. So it was like, you would do like 1,500 metres, but you would do like 22 of them. It was like all random numbers. And so you're pegged after like, I don't know.
22, 1,500 metres?
It was ridiculous numbers, 22 of them or something like that. And then you'd go down to maybe 1,200 metres and you'd do like 14 of them. And I'm thinking, what's going on here?
Well, the fitness coach getting in. Well, the fitness coach getting, what the fuck we're doing here?
Fitness coach just going along with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be fit. You have to be fit. And it was like, it was ridiculous training. And
Lads getting injured or?
Surprisingly enough, no. I think everyone was scared to get injured.
Yeah, I was going to say, did nobody say, fuck me, this is...
A few would sort of fly up. There was a couple of experienced lads. Me, Jay McKeverley, you know, Gary Roberts was there. Yeah. Robbo, Alan Navarro. We were all shaking our heads in disbelief, but we were just thinking pre-season, get your heads down. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, it was the fittest I'd ever been. Do you know, coming back from that trip, it was, and this was constant for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? You were doing it every day, 3-4 sessions. We had a couple of friendly games against some Italian amateur team who weren't great. But then, food time, the fitness coach would sort of walk around the table. You couldn't have butter, you couldn't have sauce. But then you could have this like rice cake at the end of your meal, which was full of butter. So it was mental. You know, like, it was ridiculous.
So you weren't allowed any butter on your bread roll?
And they were allowed no milk on your coffee or your tea or anything like that in the morning. So but the lads are just getting on with it because he flipped if you question it, you know what I mean? You have to do it my way or it's fucking, do you know what I mean? So he classed the day off travelling home. So we flew back to Gatwick. This is your day off, lads. But prior to that, the last night, he said, you're going to have a night out. So we're thinking, hey, is this a test here or what? He said, we're going to go to my mate's house, which was up in the mountains somewhere, in the middle of nowhere.
So it's a night out at a house?
Well, and then the night out was after. So we're going to go there first. There's a barbecue on. My mate's going to put it all up so that these Italian blokes, I mean, big fellas, you know what I mean? Tell he's his henchmen or whatever. Proper big blokes. So they're going around the table, they're giving all the drinks out as well, all these shots, like 40% and all that, and the lads are down on them. Palo's sort of sitting in the background watching it all happen. And then he said, right, on the bus now, we're going to some nightclub in Italy. So we've gone to this nightclub. It was unbelievable.
Good.
Really, really good. And Canio wasn't there. So his mates have took us on the bus. We've gone to this nightclub. So we're all having the time of our life, fantastic. Chock-a-block rammed. So all of a sudden, the lights come on. It must have been 2:30, 3 in the morning. So I think, what's going on here? Someone said it was open till 5 or something like that, you know what I mean? He's the Canio walking down the steps, because it was underground, bottom floor. He's the Canio walking down the steps, shades on. Bearing in mind, 2:30. Shades on, indoors. With 2 blokes either side of him. He's walking down the stairs. I mean,
Has he got a track? Music track coming in?
No,
nothing.
music off. Music off, lights on, just coming down. So everyone's sort of staring, what's going on here? Just coming down the stairs with these 2 sort of henchmen, like men by his side.
Sounds like Michael Borrimore at Strike It Rich, doesn't he, when he comes downstairs in middle of
The
it?
Italian people that were in there, obviously they're in shock or whatever, you know what I mean? They're all going over wanting photos, But you looked at him, he just looked ultra cool. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Everything he wore, he could just carry anything off, mate. He was
I know the feeling, Tom.
one cool fella, mate. He was, you know what I mean? But so we were in the next day after we'd travelled home, training.
So once he got
Yeah,
to the
I
bottom,
want to talk more about this, Tom.
Oh, the nightclub. Right.
Is he said, get the lights on, I want to walk down these steps. Then everybody look at me.
Don't know. Possibly.
then once he's got to the
They must have
bottom,
known he was coming, obviously.
once he's got to the bottom, lights on, music back on, we'll go.
I took music back on, a few more hours dancing around and that, and yeah, enjoying yourself, like.
Were he drinking then, or were he?
I think he was, yeah, he was. I'm sure he was having a couple of beers or anything, but nothing stupid. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good night. And
See, if I was going to do that,
up himself?
I'd turn the lights off and get a spotlight as I'm walking down the stairs, thinking in my head like,
That's just your arrogant self. Isn't it?
You'd have a track as well, wouldn't you?
I'd
Intro
have bump
track.
and grind.
You were getting this one, Dad.
But no, he's like I say, we travelled home the next day.
So you must be hanging out your asses then. You must be hanging out your asses travelling.
rough. Gets back to Gatwick. He went, right lads, we'll see you in the morning. I'm thinking, fucking, surely I'm going to get a day off here. This is about. I was counting it. I was making a little note of this because the missus is ringing us up saying, when are you going to get back? And I'm thinking, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And at the same time, I'm thinking, great, this. But no, so the next day we in, I think, surely we must be going to get a day off running again. The running and everything continued through pre-season. And I think we got to 76 days and we got a day off. And it was a Sunday. 76 days. I was counting. Every day I was coming in, I was going, day 43 this, day 44, Groundhog Day. Do you know what I mean? It was a grind.
I'm asking for overtime.
Yeah, so the season's obviously started by this point.
Pre-season was
July.
a bit earlier, so we were about. Yeah, I think the season might have started early. You might be right. Probably. I'm not 100% sure, but it was definitely about 76 days because I remember clocking it in my head. Like I was counting them every day. And some days on a Wednesday, when pre-season was starting, we ran the game on a Tuesday night. So Wednesday we were coming in the next day on the morning, still doing a bit of training till about 12 o'clock. So that time, I'm thinking I need to be aware. So I'm travelling back to the northeast, 240 mile or whatever it was, 245 mile. I wouldn't dare ask him for a day off. So I was having a few hours at home with the kids and stuff, and then having to travel back down again on the night. So I was probably seeing the kids and that for a few hours, and then having to go back down again for the next day. So I was doing like nearly 500 mile in the space of.
For 2 hours at home.
Yeah.
I think.
You know
How
what
did
I
you
mean?
feel? How did you feel at the start of the season, fitness-wise?
Felt great.
You're not
Lad's
fucked
not
though.
burned out.
Felt really fit. No,
That's
honestly,
mad,
it's
that,
the
though,
fittest I'd ever been. No, I felt really lean, really fit. Yeah, honestly, really fit. And we didn't pick up many injuries, which was surprising because of the ridiculous amounts of running we were doing. It was ridiculous.
That's fucking outrageous. 76 days.
I know.
man.
Thing is, any other manager, you'd have probably pulled to one side and said, listen, I haven't seen my kids
Yeah.
in flipping 2 months.
You treat everyone the same. You treat
did
everyone
you-
the same.
did
And I didn't want
anybody
any.
do that?
I didn't want any special. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be.
Did
Must
anybody
be.
do that though? Were there any lads that
Look, Gaffer, I'm
went in
fucking.
and said, listen,
No, he would probably say it to the fitness coach, but it was like talking to, do you know what I mean, the wall, because he just wasn't going to register. Even if he told the manager it wasn't going to. The physios, I mean, he didn't have any hair, but he was probably on our side. Well, he was on our side, and he was trying to say, listen, the lads need days off. They're going to get pull up injuries and all this stuff, but
The thing is, the longer you go on without getting injured, the more he's thinking, it's all right.
Working. Yeah. It's working. And
Probably
I think,
rightly so as well.
And I think he did it the year before. They got promoted the year before, so it's worked.
I'm by day 16, I'm in. That's Palo. You're gonna have to let me leave, mate.
Yeah.
Tear it up.
No, you wouldn't get it teared up. No chance.
Well, the settlement.
I'm telling you, no.
That's what he should have done to you then.
Tear it
Just
up.
had his training 7 days a week.
I'd have turned it up. No bother. Mate, day 16, day 17 I'm in. I'm even Paoloing him off. Yeah. Just to get a react like, Paolo, I need to leave, mate. It's not working for me, this.
Yeah,
What if you were flying, if you felt fit and you were...
I like days off, mate. Even if however fit I were. I'd rather be a bit less fit and have more days off. Mate, 76 days?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
What day are you thinking that I've had enough here?
I think it's more the fact that you live 200 odd miles away.
Yeah.
If you live local, it's a
Yeah.
ball ache and it's this... But you're getting home to your kids, aren't you?
But mate, I'm not
But you were the same. You lived in Barnsley.
I'm not believe if I lived at fucking next to training ground, mate.
Nah.
I think what he was wanting as well, I think he was trying to break you, do you know, doing his best. I think he was testing you mentally. Do you know what I mean? I think he was...
Well,
doing his
he'd have
best to
fucking
break-
won.
He'd have
Top,
Would he beat you?
Paolo, top man, day 17.
I'm out.
Rip the fucker up.
Day 76 in the Swindon.
Paolo,
Swindon
you've won, mate. Fucking
Harkin has had enough, picked up his suitcase and gone home.
find me. Snap
him over.
Snap his fucking sunglasses.
Kean
No.
over. But I mean, just going back to it, I mean, what I will say is, what a fantastic coach.
Was
I
he?
mean, oh, I loved it. I loved playing for him. Honestly, I
Did
mean...
he talk with that much passion, you know, like you?
Yeah, very passionate.
Yeah.
Very passionate. I mean, his attention to detail on the training ground was ridiculous. Too much, you know what I mean? It was... But I enjoyed it. I bought into what he was doing. His man management skills, listen, you all know about some of the incidents, were poor, do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking if he goes higher, he's going to get a lot of players who's got bigger egos, who's on bigger money, bigger contracts. He'd have to change. So
Yeah.
it didn't surprise me at Sunderland what happened at all. It didn't surprise me. But at Swindon, lads are obviously not on as much money. Yeah, you've got a couple of lads who's played higher. But honestly, I enjoyed playing for him and enjoyed the
You
training.
fucking warped, Tommy.
Hey?
You warped.
Warped.
Were you there when
if you enjoyed
we're
that, you
Fotheringham?
Yeah, I was.
We
I
played?
played in that game, yeah. It was mental.
So what happened?
I think we were 3 down after about 25 minutes.
Fucked.
25 minutes.
That's why they were fucking knackered. That's why they were 3-0 down.
Blow the gasket. And he'd cocked up for a couple of the goals, you know what I mean? But so I'm seeing him, I'm looking at him on the side, he's fucking going ballistic, he's up and down the touchline, he's screaming, he's shouting at him, he's shouting at Big Flinty as well, you know, Big Flinty at Middlesbrough, yeah, he's having a bit scream with him. And all of a sudden the number comes up, number 1. We're thinking, surely he can't be. Do you know what I mean? Fucking brings the keeper off, doesn't he? So Fotheringham's come off, he's picked up a bottle near where the sort of halfway line dugout area was, and he sort of just flung it down like towards where the Canio was. And I'm thinking, it's a bad move, that, man. That is a bad move.
First thing you got to your hand to all day, that.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. So we're thinking he's obviously raging, boiling. So we've gone in the dressing room at half time. I think we're 3 down. No sign of Wes Fotheringham.
He's fetched another keeper on though, isn't he? He's not
He
not just put like one up lads in there.
No, he's brought the sub-keeper on. So he did well there, didn't he, bring the sub-keeper on?
Tactical genius.
Tactical genius. So half time, we're all thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, oh, Fotheringham's not in here, like, Wes is not in here. So we've gone in the dressing room, no sign of him. So I'm thinking, obviously, he's showered, he's sulking, he's on the bus, or he's in the stand, or whatever, he's out the way, which is the best thing he could do, do you know what I mean? So the Canio's coming in, he's obviously having his rant and scream and shout and all this stuff. And he's gone, and as for your goalkeeper, he said, you're lucky. He said, because if he was in the dressing room now, I slit his throat.
Fucking hell.
So obviously you say some bad things at the heat of the moment. We're thinking,
I say it would have been a classic if he'd just gone for a shit. Toilet cubicle door open. Say what, pal?
obviously, I'm sure he wouldn't have done that, but yeah, so we're all like that. Wow, it was heat of the moment, obviously. So the second half comes, we obviously get beat. I think it was 3-1 and finished.
It was a tragedy going to win 4-3 after that.
Well, I know, we were scared after that.
They were even tired after fucking 45 minutes and they were 20.
But I think they had cleared the air talks on the Monday. They had a bit of a meeting and it all got sort of...
So were you alright with him after that then?
Yeah, I think he played another lad in goal, the younger kid in goal for the next game, and then after that, I think they apologised to each other. I think it all sort of got sorted out, and then Wes was a fantastic keeper, a very good keeper. He ended up going to Rangers and did really well when he first went there. So it was just one of them days, one of them games. Then he's on Sky, Palo saying, why can't I do this? And he's got a point, if a player makes 2 mistakes or whatever, he brings them up, maybe. Do you know what I mean? Certain managers. And that's just how he was, very up and down. But we'd get beat or we'd draw. This is what I'm saying about him. He was very intense, and very passionate and crackers, crazy. So he'd be stewing on the back on the bus away games. Right, lads, he says, you're in at 6 o'clock in the morning for a video analysis on a Sunday morning. 6, so John, you'd definitely be long gone.
Not having it.
Long gone. And he'd have you in this room, and telly's on the wall,
email
and stuff off the telly, and the telly's hanging on for its life, and he's ranting and raving, and he's in people's faces.
So he's still not calmed down by the Sunday morning?
Hasn't calmed down, mate. And he had little clips of players, and he used to go through every single one from the day before the game, what they did wrong. It was ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And you're thinking to me, and you still like him. I like his training. I like his coaching. You
enjoyed this, Tom?
I liked his coaching. That's what I liked. I didn't obviously like that side. Like I said earlier, his man management left a lot to be desired.
Did you ever think it was personal, or could you understand that he was just saying it and it was forgot about by the time he got out the room?
How he was he was boiling. You know what I mean? That's how he was. So passionate, so intense.
You ever have any crack with him?
A little bit. He used to join in with training every now and again. He still had it. He used to do the finishing
So basically, you just take the piss out of everybody else when he trained?
Possibly.
For his own fucking self-gratification.
Yeah.
Sounds like an absolute ball bag to me. Of the highest order.
But I speak to lads who were there under his time, and they'll say they didn't realise how good it was, his training and stuff like that. They didn't appreciate it at the time. The likes of Simon Ferry, who played, Matt Ritchie, who was at Newcastle, loved him. And Canio loved him. You used to have to drag him off the training ground. He loved it. Do you know what I mean? They've all done well after that. Flinty, as much as he complained, he got the best out of him, and the team was top of the league, mate. So that disguises it a little bit, because you're doing well, it's working, you're top of the league. Yeah. So
it's true.
Listen, if you're mid-table and you're bottom, you're going to, if I kick up a bit of a fuss, this is not working, and he might have changed it. I don't think he would have, but he might have changed it.
I'd rather be 15th, mate. 15th with a couple of days off a week.
It was the older lads at Sunderland that got rid of him when he went there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So did he leave Swindon to go to Sunderland?
He got sacked from Swindon. Prior to this, I'll just briefly tell you this. We had a cup game. This is going back to Palo. We had a cup game against Aston Villa on the Tuesday night. I've gone up for this bar for about 15-20 minutes, and Flinty and Bentek here, obviously the size of them two, big giants, both of them, and I'm in the middle of them. So I've got sandwich sort of thing, fucking right on my thigh. I'm thinking, wow. So I'm thinking, dead leg, this is going to fucking knack. I'm hobbling about for the... Gets to half time, I'm thinking, got to keep this moving. Second, I don't want to come off, you know what I mean? Don't want to come off. Second half goes on, I'm hobbling, I'm struggling, but I'm thinking, I've got to stay on the pitch. We're getting beat 2-0, we get back to 2-2, so the game's ending extra time. Anyway, Benteke scores in the 94th minute, game over 3-2. So I've come off the field, barely walk like. Seeing the physio, I said, listen, I'm struggling here. I said, I'll not be able to train tomorrow because we were training the next day. Exactly. It's madness. Exactly. It's mental. So I've gone in the next day, seen the physio, hobbled in, struggled to get out of the car. Gone to the physio, I've gone, listen, I am struggling today big style. I said, you're going to have to, I don't know, I sit and see how it is today, but you might have to get us a scan, I don't know. He said, no problem. He says, I'll have a word with the manager and I'll have a word with the fitness coach and I'll get it all sorted. So before training, every session, we used to go down to the training pitch have a little wander down. So he's me about 5 minutes later. The lads is all waiting. Palo was there with his coaches and stuff. So he's having a little debrief about the game, going through it. Yeah, you did well, nearly close, blah, 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 fine margins and all this stuff. And then he's turned to me and he's gone, hey Tommy, he said, who decided you don't train today? I went, I'm not being funny, Gaffer. I said, I cannot walk, never mind train. He said, no, I decide if you train or not. I think, is he fucking winding me up here?
You must have been raging, Tom.
Well, I'm like, Gaffer, I cannot walk. I cannot walk. There's no way I can train. I'm fucking hobbling. I cannot move my leg, blah, blah, blah. No. So he's saying something to the fitness coach. And then he comes back to me and he went, we were playing Macclesfield on the Saturday in the FA Cup at home. And he went, if we were playing Man United on Saturday, would you be fit? I said, well, I'm perfectly honest with you, it's Wednesday. I said, I cannot walk. I said, so the chances are, no, I won't be fit for Saturday.
You not just like say, fuck you.
You must have been close.
Fuck you.
But that would just made him fucking go off the rails even more, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, you're just trying to bite your tongue. So I'm saying, I cannot walk, blah, blah, blah. So the lads all start training. The fitness coach comes over to me and went, you have to get it moving. You have to get the blood moving, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm thinking it's just a dead leg because it got quite a bit of a blow on it. He wants you moving around the training ground, jogging. So I'm thinking, jogging? I can't fucking walk. So all of a sudden I sets off and I think to myself, right, fuck him. I'm going to fucking have a go here. So I'm like hobbling and I'm trying to walk. And I'm just keep going, and I'm going really slow, and the lads are training sort of in the middle of it, and I'm just keep on going around this field, really slow. Fitness coach, I'm looking at the fitness coach, and he's going, keep going, you've got to get it moving, it'll loosen up, it'll get better. The physio by this chance is out the way, do you know what I mean? Because he's thinking, I've told them, they just don't listen. It's their way or nothing, you know what I mean? So this must have went on for half an hour easy. And I can see the lads who's trained, they're having a bit of a laugh.
What's your dog, pal?
Yeah. But in my head, I'm thinking, fuck him, he's questioning whether I'm injured or not here. He's having a little go, so I'm thinking, no, I'm just going to keep going. And if I make it worse, I'll make it worse. It'll be his fault. Keep going. Finish training finishes. Fitness coach goes, right, okay, that's, you know.
Had it loosened off at all?
No, not at all. Wasn't budging. So I've gone into the physio. I said, what's going on here at the physio? I said, I've told him. He said, he's not listening to me. He says, the Italians, they say you should get it moving after an injury like this and blah. I said, well, I'm telling you something now, I am struggling big style. So I'm icing it and all this stuff. The next day comes in, exactly the same. He's going, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He says, I'll sort you a scan out. So I think I get a scan on there. It was either the Thursday night or the early Friday morning. So went for a scan. And I got the results. It was either Friday night or the Saturday morning. We were playing Macclesfield on the Saturday. Bearing in mind I was still struggling. So I've gone in on the Saturday, reports for the game. Physio said, got your scan results back. He said, you've got a 5 centimetre tear in your thigh. I went, oh, great that. I said, have you told the manager? He went, yeah. He said, he just sort of like smiled. I went, all right, great. so the lads are warming up.
A 5 centimetre tear.
Unbelievable. So obviously, it probably was a dead leg and it's made it worse by running around and stuff like that. So I've gone to the dugout to watch the lads train and had my son with us. He was up for the weekend. So I'm watching the lads warm up for the game against Macclesfield, and he's Palo at the side of the pitch, and he comes and sits in the dugout next to us, and he said, it's bad, isn't it? I went, yeah, it is bad. I said, I told you I was injured. He said, don't you worry. He said, we send you to Italy, Rome. You get the best treatment ever. He said, I ring my friend, Villa Stewart in Rome. He said, you get the best treatment. I'm thinking, fucking hell, if he hadn't made us run, I might have fucking had a chance of being fit. So he said, we sort the flights out, everything, top hotel. So I ended up going to Rome for 2 weeks. Well, I was supposed to go for 1 week. I mean, because...
So you think he's thinking to himself, I fucked up here?
Possibly. He said, the fella who's got this clinic owes me a favour, a friend of mine. He says, I send you there, get the best treatment. So I goes over there, they are having a look at the scans and they're scanning it themselves, and then they're injecting me and stuff like that. I'm thinking, surely I'm in good hands here, well-renowned clinic. And then it was coming to when I was going home on the Friday or the Thursday, I can't remember the day. And they've gone, no, you're going to have to stay another week. So I was thinking,
Were you enjoying it, like?
I was enjoying it because I was getting my treatment, and then I was as I was obviously getting a bit better, I was starting to move around a bit more freely, and I was going into Rome, having a little look around, and what a fantastic place! I was going to these little squares on a night, having my tea and having a couple of Peronis. It was, and you'll keep me another week. But no, so I went back after that. Had the 2 weeks, went back and did a little bit of rehab back there for a couple of weeks, and then I was fit. So I probably missed about 4-5 weeks maybe, and the team, and then Palo he wanted more money in January. He wanted more players in. We were top or second, and he was wanting a couple of players in. He was wanting Bradley Wright-Phillips from Charlton. He was wanting a lad from Cheltenham, the midfielder Marlon Pack, and he'd already you know what I mean, anything he asked for he got, budget wise and stuff like that. So we were already stretching the budget. The chairman was like, fucking hell, not again. So he's tried for these new players. This time the chairman thought, fuck it, I need to sell the club.
Yeah.
So these other fellas come in who apparently had money, and then it all went tits up. The Canio seen straight through them, didn't give the players that he was promised, walked out. That was him, finished, you know. And the stories, which I'm sure you've read, where he's broke in during the middle of the night into the ground, and he's
Did you take a temporary charge?
I took temporary charge. Me and a lad called Darren Ward. We were both playing at the same time, so we were sort of player managers.
Big Wardy who used to be at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, the centre half. Yeah, Wardy. Yeah, me and him was the senior players. Took temporary charge for a couple of games, but we were both still playing, and we both didn't want the job. Yeah. You know what I mean? We still wanted to play. So
what's that true about him breaking in?
Yeah. Taking all the pictures down the wall, you know, he's doing things with the camera. I think his pictures, like of him and like his maybe staff and the success he'd had with the year before.
Could he not have just gone in on a morning and
well, I think it was like 2-3 in the morning apparently when he done it. You know what I mean?
Did he still have keys, or were he like Catburger fruit?
I think he still had keys.
Skyline.
I think he still had keys. Got them from somewhere, and crazy, absolutely crazy. But that was him.
So, had you taken temporary charge when he broke in?
Yeah, because he'd gone, he'd left.
He'd your
He'd not left his shit at front. He'd not let desk at it.
I'm just thinking when you come in and there's like
all the stuff had gone.
Pictures missing. You know, like, what's going on here?
It was more like in the corridor as well.
Like Riviera. It's the Riviera.
And it was pretty much ASAP. He'd gone. I think it was the next morning. Do you know what I mean? He'd done it, and then a day later or a couple of days later we were asked to take the team for the game on the Saturday, do a bit of training. But let me tell you, the lads had a day off. The first thing we need to do, Darren, is have a day off. Lads are knackered.
Tommy, it's Friday, I don't give a fuck. We're having tomorrow off. We are having tomorrow off. Jeez, mate, it must have been like fucking Wizard of Oz, wasn't it? Oh yeah, the witch has gone, the witch has gone.
Were the lads glad he gone?
I think there was a relief. I think there was a big relief. Certainly with some of the younger ones.
Tell you, one of the person would never say, well, Tommy's missus, you're back twice a week. What are you doing here, Tommy?
I had to go home, but it's funny because me and Darren kept it the same, you know, training, not in terms of we give the lads a day off, but in terms of what we used to do, training Monday to Friday, because Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, because it was working. Yeah. And the lads knew it, and it was obviously late January's time, we were top of the league or second, so it was working, so we kept more or less the same sort of thing for the couple of weeks we were in charge. And then Kevin MacDonald came in, ex-Villa, old school.
Is that the guy who went to Blackpool?
Coops came in as assistant, Mark Cooper.
Oh fucking what a ball bag that is, yeah.
Mark Cooper came in, and but going back to the owners who came in, before they appointed Kevin MacDonald and Mark Cooper, they came in, don't you worry, I appreciate everything you two lads have done these last couple of weeks, stepping up and helping with the team, and obviously getting the game sorted and stuff like that. Comes to the end of the season, we'll reward you. We'll reward you.
We've seen this one before.
Thinking, fucking hell, he got fucking, is this Gary Mix in it? We'll reward you for what you've done. We will not forget this for next season and all this bollocks. So comes to the end of the season, we got beaten in the playoffs off Brentford.
Well, like a right high scoring game.
Yeah, it was. The second leg was.
Like
I think we missed out by it was a goal either way.
Yeah.
They beat us. Yeah, it was 4-3 or 5-4 something. I think it was ridiculous. So he gets beat in the semi-final. Comes to the end of the season. Kevin MacDonald didn't know what was happening, whether he was staying. And anyway, Mark Cooper ended up getting the job. Thanks for everything. So I'm thinking, where's this owner at? He was nowhere to be seen. He was hiding. So yeah, then I left Swindon, and that was me. And then I ended up at Bury with Kevin Blackwell, who I know Sedgie's sort of spoke a little bit about.
Spoke less than highly.
Not going to say that. I was just going to work out what's less than highly. Says he was a twat, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I mean, I signed in about October time. I didn't know what I was going to do. Didn't know whether I was going to. Again, I'm maybe searching for something what wasn't there. Maybe he's waiting, biding me time, see if I could get a little bit closer. And he was ringing us a lot, and he was going, "Come on, get yourself here, man. We'll look after you. We'll give you days off." Completely opposite to the previous manager, Canio. We'll give you days off. Where do I sign? I was thinking the travel. I could do the travel an hour and 45, not too bad. So I went, spoke to them, and signed. It was a shambles. The lads were training in all sorts of different gear. It was a shambles, you know. As Sedgie's mentioned, it was rag-arse road.
Well, Sedgie there at the time?
Sedgie was there, and he was still waiting to get offered something, you know. He was training, and I've come in and I'd obviously knew him. You see, okay, now I'm still waiting to sign, like, I don't know what's happened. I said, well, he's told me that he's going to sign me. He said I only need a couple of days training. He said he'll sign us. Bastard.
I bet Sedgie was fucking
Sedgie was like that as soon as training. Kevin, can I have a word?
You taking the fucking piss out of me, or what?
Yeah, that's his favourite word, Sedgie, wasn't he?
Fucking hell.
But signed in, had a year there. Flitcroft came in as well. Flitcroft loved the big words, loved all the big, come out with all these big words and stuff like that, and he used to put things on the board and he'd spell things wrong, and I'm thinking
He's not dyslexic, is he?
I don't know, but
You can't pull him up on his grammar, come on.
I know that, but
No, but
these-
I think he's trying to say that he comes across as this intellectual,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
and he's spelling
something he's
things
not.
wrong.
So I think this sort of new manager,
He's spelling
this new
offside
sort
wrong.
of-
You know what I mean?
spelling offside.
Spelling offside wrong. He's put one F.
And I used to look through him and think, I don't know, no, not for me. Not for
Used to
me.
love-
A nice enough fella, but no, he's training. Listen, he got them over the line. He got them promoted at the end of the season. But no, wasn't for me. Wasn't for me.
Somebody nicked your watch, didn't they?
Someone nicked me watch. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right, Brownie. This was when Blackie got the sack. Ronnie Jepson stepped up, assistant manager. Great lad, Jep. Oh, loved him. You know, old school, but fantastic fella. And he put a bit of life and soul back into the club. A bit of fun and games in the training and that. And I've gone in one day after the game. After the game had finished, and I'd come off. Or I'd come into the dressing room at the end of the game. So I do the normal ritual, like I said earlier, I've got OCD, so I used to always put my watch and my wedding ring in my left shoe, my socks in my right shoe, put them underneath the bench wherever I was sitting, facing, so if anyone walked past they couldn't see inside my shoe, they were facing the opposite way. So everyone's getting showered, and there's a few lads shifted and gone away, you know what I mean, early. So I've gone through my shoe, thinking, hang on, this is weird, fucking wedding ring's here, my watch is not there. Now, it was a Breitling watch. I got it when I was at Ipswich, and it was about, I don't know, $4,000 or whatever, $4,500 at the time. So I'm thinking, is this a wind up here, like, with the lads? So I've gone to Jetbo, I said, my watch is gone here, Jetbo. He's gone, you joking? He said, right, nobody leaves, search your bags and all this stuff. Now, there'd already been a few lads who'd left the ground. So they'd go run through the bags, everyone searched, not there.
So everyone actually got searched?
Searched, yeah. Empty your pockets, empty your bags, all that stuff, yeah. Jetlo weren't messing about, like, say, fucking hard as nails, I mean, you wouldn't mess
If
with
you told you to drop your trousers, you'd drop your trousers.
Possibly not, no.
Did he straight away think it was one of the players in staff? Or
Well, there's a steward on the gate, on the,
so
on
nobody
the
else
door and
can come
stuff,
in.
so
Right.
nobody's in or out that dressing room. So I'm immediately thinking, who's come into the dressing room earlier? Who's been subbed? Has anyone gone back from being subbed and gone into the dressing room? And there was a couple of lads who had come off. So immediately I'm thinking, and it's funny, they lads weren't in the dressing room at the end of the game. Well, certainly after I'd noticed it had gone. So I'm putting two and two together here and thinking, hang on a minute, is it one of them, like? So this went on a little bit, meeting the next few days, and so Flitcroft, to be fair, was excellent, like, and he sort of think, well, this lad's come, so he sort of got a couple of them in one-to-one and sort of didn't accuse them, but had a right go at them and sort of think, listen,
What's going
we've
on?
told it's you, like, or it's you or him, this other lad. Put him on the spot, and he sort of said to this lad, he said, listen, you're suspended, you're having a couple of weeks off, out the way. Now I still don't know to this day whether it was him or not, and I'd like to think it wouldn't have been, but it all points towards him. And there was a few other issues at the club before my time where things had been missing, and in the training when I was there as well, there was money going missing, and it's the lowest of the low, pinching off your teammates. It never ever. I'd gone all them years where it hadn't happened. I hadn't come across it neither, and that was sort of. It was ridiculous.
Was the CCTV footage of him leaving the ground?
There was cameras.
Was that you, Sherlock Holmes?
I wasn't even there.
It's funny. Yeah, you're right.
Sat with fucking Hercule Poirot.
There was cameras sort of outside the ground, seeing a lad go to his car and then come back into the ground. Now whether Matt's obviously might have been putting something in his car, who knows?
So what do you deduce, Mr. Brown?
It doesn't happen. When the game's going on, people don't walk out of the
No,
to
you
the
hang
car
around
with
really,
your kit
don't
on.
you?
Not
You
unless
hang
they've got
around.
the sandwiches in.
That same player, Jermaine Pennant, got a lot of money stole out of his locker,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember that. Yeah.
all fingers pointed to this player as well. So
Jermaine Pennant, when he was at Bury,
he came to Bury,
Yeah.
and somebody, for some reason, he had a lot of money in his locker, and one of the lads obviously knew. And he kept coming in from training, saying he needed the toilet or whatever, but every time he came back in, there was somebody else in there, so he'd go back out. And obviously this one time he's come in,
no one's in.
they end up getting... Obviously there was a big kick, there was a fuss kicked up.
That was in the newspapers. No, that was in the national newspapers. I remember that. Yeah. It's not about my watch, like.
Now's the time, mate, get it out there.
Did you name any names in the papers?
I didn't see the article, I know who we're talking about.
Obviously, it mentioned Jermaine Pennant, but didn't name like.
It didn't name who they thought it was.
Well, and
the player was sold.
The club wasn't insured. The club wasn't insured. Now I had me insured through home insurance and stuff like that, but obviously it wasn't stolen at home. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do here, like? And bearing in mind, it's 10, 12 years from when I bought it. So I've gone to the jewellers to get an estimated price. It was nearly £3,000 more from when I bought it. So I've said to the chairman and the director, I said, listen, I'm not going to be out of pocket here. Like, if we can't fathom out who's took it or whatever, what we're going to do? And he went, we'll give you the money. Which was, listen, they should have had maybe their insurance. I don't know how it works at a football club, but they did give me the cash to get me the new one, which was obviously
fair
great.
play.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair
But
play to him.
at the same time, the lad who did it or whatever seemed to go away scot-free, maybe.
When I were at Macclesfield, we
got
came
5
in.
minutes. So
When I were at Macclesfield, we came in from training one day and two lads had the fucking cars nicked.
Bailiffs.
Eh?
Was it the bailiffs or was it burglars?
So we used to train at school. We used to train at school, and obviously we've got in from training. Lads have put the gear on, gone for the car keys. We've gone to the car park. Both the fucking cars gone. So they never must have looked at mine. No, nobody from the club.
yeah.
But they've fucking come out and both the cars are missing. Must have looked in mine, but they were just all fucking stinky kitten. Snooze and fucking McDonald's wrappers all over the floor. Nah, we'll fucking leave that one. Take them keys back.
We had a couple of questions on Twitter, Tommy.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned at Ipswich in 2009 about Giovanni Dos Santos.
Oh yeah, he came on loan and ripped it up. Very, very good. Yeah, came on loan from
What was he
Tottenham.
like when he
Did the left back? Were he left back?
No, he was like attacking midfielder or a wide player, creative player. He was
Tottenham.
Tottenham, yeah. Very, very good. Very good. Came and breath of fresh air. We were very surprised to get him. Do you know what I mean? But Jim pulled
Different
off-
class.
Different class. Yeah, stood out, and very, very good. Very good.
Someone else asked, did you really tell Niall Quinn that you couldn't be asked?
No, that's a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
When I said that, who said that?
I'll tell you now.
Who says that?
Who said that?
Andreas Walker, you lying bastard.
Uzi.
Never heard of him. Never heard. Who did he play for? Correct, Sunderland. Thought so.
How does that even get out?
I know.
You know, like
Silly. Yeah,
into
silly.
the public domain.
So the rumour was obviously that you told Niall Quinn that during a game that you couldn't be asked playing, and that's why you...
Yeah, it's a good rumour. Good rumour. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
if you'd have told Canio, nah, I think there'd been plenty of truth in it. Paolo, I can't be arsed, mate.
I would have dared tell him.
Paolo, I am fucked, mate.
You get me throat slit.
It's day 65, Paolo. I'm fucking shattered here, mate.
Just quickly, after I left Bury, I went back to Hartlepool.
Yeah.
Just did a year, finished my career at Hartlepool. And again, story my last few years sort of playing, I got injured. Willie Donaghy was assistant. Paul Murray came in as manager. Paul Murray came in. Remember Paul Murray?
No.
No, not remember Paul Murray, centre midfielder. Anyway, he came in as manager. Willie Donaghy was the assistant manager. Got injured in my first game against Cambridge, tore my calf, and that was me. Kept trying to come back, kept breaking down. This point, it was in my head, I was on 599 games. So I'm thinking, I can't finish on 599. Fucking OCD and all that. Creeping in again. I need to get to 600.
You ruined the rest of your life, wouldn't it?
Mate. So Paul Murray gets the sack. Willie Donaghy goes with him.
It's making sense now about these Canio numbers.
Oh,
14 laps? What are you doing, 14 laps?
Oh.
It's always 12 or 16. It's not 40.
So Ronnie Moore comes in, and we were struggling.
Is this the year of the miracle escape?
Oh, don't you mention it. Jesus Christ. Did Ronnie tell you about it?
Yeah,
How many times has he told you? So he's come in, I'm in the treatment table, obviously calf. I kept trying to come back training. I went for the injection in Leeds, all this spin the blood and spin it back into your tear and all this. It just wasn't working. Trying to come back training, getting so far, go a little bit quicker, explosive stuff, and he just kept breaking down, kept re-tearing. It was a nightmare. So Ronnie's coming in and he's having a bit crap with us about players, and listen, he did well. He got a few players in with what he had to work with, and he saved the club. Listen, he saved the team from going under, which would have been a disaster. I mean, they went under the following year. He saved them. So him and Sam Collins did a good job. They had a lot of games, but they've done a good job. So I'm getting towards the last few games of the season when it's still sort of hitty-missy, and I'm desperate to get back. I broke down about 3 or 4 times. Went to London to see this specialist. He said, I've come across this problem before. He says it's athletics and all this stuff. It's well known. So he does this thing. It was something to do with my scar tissue sticking on the inside, and he's put this injection in. He said, hopefully this will sort it out, and all this nonsense. So it got me back. I got back to the last few games, and I was sub for the last couple of games. So I'm sub for the game again. It was we played home. We had to win. Do you know what I mean? We had to win. And I'm on the bench. And I'm thinking, is he going to get me on here? You know what I mean?
Had you told him about this 599?
No, I don't think he was aware of it. I don't think he was aware of it.
If you'd have got to the 600 before that, would you been like, that's me? That's me.
Well,
And that's round 600. I'm done.
I'm not fucking up right.
I'm not going to 7.
I think because I broke down 3 or 4 times, if I was on 600, I would have just thought, fuck it off. You know what I mean? But because I was on 599, it was in my head constantly. 599, 599. I need 600.
Every number plate you saw, 599. Everybody's phone number ended with
Adverts,
599.
fucking sofas, 599. What's going on here? So I'm sort of getting by training, like I said, and I get to the last couple of games. I'm on the bench, and I'm thinking, hopefully he's going to put me on here. The game was evenly balanced. It was 1-0 or 2-1. There was a goal either way. So he goes, Tommy, get ready. So I'm thinking, fucking brilliant, champion.
You weren't even asked if you went down, were you? You just need to get this 5 now.
Well, I wanted the club to obviously stay up. It was massive. It's a club which is massive, close to my heart. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I started there, and it comes to it that I'd finished there. So I get on. Last 20 minutes. A few touches of the ball, blah, 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 full-time whistle goes, there's a pitch invasion, all this, and I'm thinking,
I thought you were listening to my calf.
brilliant. The club, calf's killing.
No goal. Did you have the 600 on your vest? Ready for celebration?
No, I wasn't one of them. But so yeah, pitch invasion. Ronnie's obviously on there, giving it the. Listen, Ronnie's Ronnie. Do you know what I mean? Chocolate springs to mind. Obviously, but he's done a good job, and he's done well where he went, and he saved the club. So hats off to him. But it was like the Ronnie Moore show, you know. We were turning up for games. It was all about him, and he had like an end of season thing, and he'd gone out with the coach's staff and all this, singing Ronnie Moore, and he's singing along to it, and he's got his hat on. It was the Ronnie Moore show.
Sang
I
it
can
for us,
tell you
yeah.
now. I've got nothing against him. I got on pretty well with him, do you know what I mean? But
You should have seen him in that Hartlepool nightclub.
still in, isn't he?
When lights were come
He's
on.
still in, are you? He's still in.
Fur coat. The Panama.
Still in there, but yeah. So, and briefly went to Halifax after that. I thought part-time football might suit me. Obviously not training day to day. Manager gets the sack. October time, November time. Darren Kelly, Jimmy Harvey.
I think they just played against me. I think that's what it was.
Possibly you might have getting on the Saturday. They were having a nightmare, having an absolute nightmare. Jimmy Harvey comes in and he said, "Listen, can you be assistant?" So I was assistant for the end of the season. Struggled. Give ourselves a chance. Took it to the last game. Got beaten drew the last game, and we hit the bar in the 92nd minute. I think if that had gone in, we'd have stayed up. Went down, got relegated, and then we had the trophy final a couple of weeks later, which we beat Grimsby in, which was obviously a fantastic day for the club.
It's a strange feeling though.
Strange feeling.
I mean,
you'd been relegated, but you'd obviously won something in the trophy, and fantastic day with the fans and stuff. But bittersweet in the end.
Little quiz question for you.
That happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah. There's a player who's got relegated twice in 2 seasons and won the FA Trophy. Both them seasons. Obviously, one for Halifax, one for Hamza Ben Sharif.
Ben Sharif, yeah.
We were like that, you fucking curse you.
Who's signing him next season?
You're a fucking cup player, you,
Are you
mate.
trying to get him a move?
Yeah. 2 seasons in a row, relegated, won the FA Trophy.
Yeah. Mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mental. So we didn't stay on at Halifax, and that was me. And then I'm at Spennymoor now, which is in the National League North. Fantastic club, been there 3 years.
Still enjoying it.
Yeah, love it. Assistant manager, enjoy it. Great set of lads, got a good team. Great manager, Jason Ainsley's done a fantastic job there.
Did you give him any days off?
It's part-time, he's got to. Part-time, he's got to. But now we've got a good group there, and we're doing well. We missed out on going up, got beaten in the playoff final of Chorley this season on a penalty shootout. So we'll go again next year.
They're only missing a big target man, aren't they? Experience, backs in, you know what I mean? It's guaranteed.
Smooth arsehole.
Oh fucking what a smooth Gary Glitter. Guaranteed 25.
Beats a season.
Yeah.
I'm just pleased you go to Maggers every year still.
Yeah, still go. I think I've missed 2 years out of 22, which is
Monumental
a good stretch.
Good stat, innit?
Good stretch, and
Monumental
only
effort.
because of the playoffs and that playoff final and stuff.
So that's an even 20.
What's
Are
that?
you keeping it at that? An even 20 from Undr?
Well, what is that? 21?
I've been 21 this year, so I need to go next year to make it 22.
Good, well, cheers, Tommy.
No, lads, it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant,
to be back.
Thanks for coming up.
The fucking warm that Guinness love, isn't it? Hey?
I left it down like Weaver used to in Dublin.
Cheers, mate.
No, enjoy
Nice
that,
one,
pal.
mate.
Top man.
Well done, lads.
Cheers, mate.